Yo, we are back. It's the Goodfellas Podcast. It's your boy Dougie. Got 5, A Will with me. How y'all feeling today, man?
Beautiful.
No more NBA basketball until
October.
There's good vibes in there though.
Great vibe. Well, we got summer league start July.
Summer League.
Well, I'm a summer league.
Summer League. NBA's all year round.
I'm always into
You
summer.
know why it's all year round?
Why?
Because of the breaking news, baby. If you've been under a rock, okay, AD to LA. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about the finals, man, Game 6. Toronto Raptors over the Golden State Warriors. Kawhi Leonard, finals MVP. Clay tore his ACL. KD was already out. I mean, it was Golden State Warriors was down to Steph and Dale.
Damn, no respect for number 0?
Who?
Boogie.
What about Draymond? He had triple double.
He got them all series.
He had triple double game 6 though.
Man, they need him to score.
Triple doubles don't matter anymore.
Well, they need him to score. What'd you say? You knew he was gonna get his rebounds and assists, right?
Triple doubles don't matter anymore though. That's what I would say.
I mean, they matter when you win.
So they don't matter anymore.
They just need him to score though. Well, you knew he.
That's asking a lot.
That's what I'm saying. They needed him to score the basketball.
They do.
Boogie took less money to go there. How y'all feel?
I mean, he got to the finals though. I mean, he
He
got a
did
taste
get to-
of
He
it.
did get to the finals.
Got a taste of it. I
He
mean,
played 2 good games.
yeah. I mean, and he's hurt too. I mean,
Yeah,
let's not forget that he's still
Yeah,
hurt.
he wasn't
He wasn't 100%.
He was.
Um,
I did predict the Raptors would win in Game 6.
Did you say in 6 though?
No. I just said they would win Game 6.
I did too.
No, you did.
Yes, I did.
You was over here on the
You
fence.
said Raptors in 5.
No, I'm
No,
talking
no.
about Game 6.
Game
Oh,
I
Game
did
six.
say.
Oh,
you did. You was over
I
here
said
on
if
the
it got
fence.
to a Game 7, I would be questionable. But
You did say that.
I
You
definitely said it in
you
6.
You were sticking to your guns.
Yeah,
You did say
I
that.
said I'm going down with the ship.
All right, well.
There you
Well,
go.
I mean,
You wasn't confident.
that doesn't make sense because if you said they were going to win Game 6, that means they were going to win the series. So there would have never been a Game 7. So.
No, we were saying if it did go to Game 7, I was saying I need them
I
to
said
end it
there
now.
wouldn't
No,
be a
but
Game
he's
7.
but he's saying that he had them winning Game 6, and he's
Period.
saying that you didn't have
I
them
had
winning
them winning
Game
Game
6.
6.
No,
I
you
would-
didn't. You couldn't have.
No, when we discussed who was going to win the next game, I said I'm still going with the Raptors.
No, you said it was going to go 7. You was like they're going to win in Game 7.
No. Go back and look at the tape. I just was watching it.
You was just watching.
On the big screen.
How many minutes ago?
Huh?
How many minutes ago?
I watch them daily.
No,
Watch them daily.
no, okay.
So this is recent, within a couple days.
All
You grade yourself. What did you get on the last episode?
The Raptors won, so thank God. Because if that series would have gone 7,
right. You was nervous?
Game 7, anything can happen,
I
man.
mean, you shouldn't be. I mean, they had 60% of the roster.
Yeah. I mean, it would have just been
The way that
Steph,
series was
Draymond.
going, man,
It would
somebody
have just
was-
been Steph and Draymond.
Yeah, what if Kawhi would have twisted
Kawhi
his
got
ankle or
hurt or
something?
something?
Yeah, like you just don't never know.
I mean,
Yeah.
shit, the way Van Fleet and Lowry was playing, they didn't need them
They
almost.
didn't need him. For real. And
Um,
I'm going to shout out Lowry, man. I was hard on dude all
You-
playoffs.
Everybody
But
was.
I'm just going to speak for myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give Lowry his credit. He showed up in the biggest game of his life, and he came to play. And I was proud of him.
I didn't even came to play. He dominated
He-
the first
he-
half.
he did.
damn, he had
Did he miss a shot in the first half?
Yeah, he missed like 2 maybe.
Yeah.
It wasn't that many.
He had to because Kawhi ain't have it going.
Yeah, he not at all.
He ain't have it
He
going.
looked
I
bad.
mean, he
Kawhi
didn't have it
looked
going
bad.
because Lowry had it going so good though. Like he had the first 11 points, right?
Yeah.
He had the first 11. I mean, that's normally when you got a guy going, the other guy's gonna struggle a little bit. You don't get the touches, you don't get the looks that you were getting. So I mean, it's not.
But I
not
feel like
100% his fault.
It's not, but I feel like the way Lowry was playing, if Kawhi would have been at least 75%, maybe 80% to what he normally would have did, they probably would have blew him out. And you know, I always say when you playing well and you barely winning, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, they definitely did that in the first quarter.
And they die. Look, Clay getting hurt helped the Raptors win. I hate to say that. Because Clay was taken off in the third quarter.
Yeah, they had all the momentum. They were about to go up 5 when he was going to shoot the free throws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clay was taken off. The Golden State was about to win Game 6. Him getting hurt definitely, I hate to say this, but it definitely saved the Raptors. Definitely.
I agree.
You gotta take advantage of it though.
They did.
They did. They did what they're supposed to do.
All teams don't take advantage.
No, they don't.
Shout out Houston.
Yeah, good example.
Man.
But yeah, I mean, one thing I will say is a lot of people only shouting out Kawhi when the others
Stepped up.
for the Raptors, they had two guys play great every single game.
Yeah.
I mean, Game 6 it was Lowry and Van Fleet
And Siakam.
and Siakam, and in Game 5 it was
Van Fleet again.
Van Fleet again, and Ibaka played well.
Yeah.
And Ibaka played well. So I mean, they had two different others go off every single game. So I mean, he had plenty of help,
Yeah.
and he did his thing too though.
So with Golden State, is it the end of their dynasty?
I can't say that yet. I gotta see what free agency does. Obviously, re-signing some guys, taking the cap hit because if they do re-sign them, they are gonna take a huge luxury hit. Livingston's already talking about retiring.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my thing. So I talked a lot last year about David West retiring and how that would affect them, and it affected them. I mean, it really did. I mean, those veteran guys out of the locker room, guys who you can rely on game in and game out, and when things get tight, like can help bring the team together. I think Sean is one of those people, and if he's gone, that's another one out the door. So, but we'll see though. We'll see. That free agency though is going to be huge for them. I won't say it's the end, but they strike out on one of their two big guys, like it could be over.
Okay. What do you think?
I think it's the beginning of the end. And the only reason I say that is because I don't think KD is coming back. And then Clay is out majority of next year with his ACL. So that leaves, even if you look the year after that, right, Iguodala contract will be up. He's probably going to retire after that. So who do you replace him with? Like Five said, Livingston might retire this year. Who do you replace him with? Can you convince Boogie to re-sign for less money again? Or does he hit the market and get an offer from somewhere he can't turn down? That's a wild card. So the team will definitely look different next year. But the year after that,
Draymond's up.
Draymond will be a free agent. Draymond probably will be eligible for a Supermax. I'm going to say that. So are you going to give him that and tie your money into 3 players? Are you going to make Draymond what? Would Draymond be the second highest player on the team?
Depends on
If he
if they
can
max
get
out
that,
Clay, they max out KD. It just depends.
I don't think KD coming back. So I think it's the beginning of the end. Like, and I think it's all just in contracts and free agency. Like how they're going to set it up going forward. They had it so beautiful when they started the dynasty, but now it's a different ball game. You hit a different ball game.
I like the direction he's going. I'm gonna tackle on that a little bit. But not from the Warriors perspective.
I'm gonna say it's. I think it's done.
I got a hot take for y'all too.
Not that. So I think it's done. I think it's over with. I think Golden State's dynasty. I think it's. I always said, I tell y'all this all the time. When Kevin Durant signed with the Golden State Warriors, the basketball gods is not about to allow them to just go crazy, dominate like that. Because we all agreed that if KD and the Warriors were healthy, they would have three-peated. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And like, I don't think they're gonna get another one. I don't think so.
My question for you would be, obviously, I want to ask why, but who do you see being better than them?
Next year or period?
Just in the next coming years. What teams are adding people to their team to be better than them?
So I'm gonna start with the most obvious, the Lakers, number one. I think I just will say with LeBron and AD, that duo alone to me is better than Steph and Draymond next year. It's better than Steph and Clay the year after that. And then you still have to look at the pieces, that the Lakers can add.
Never.
And when we talking to that, I can give y'all some pieces, but they could put together a solid 4-player team. 4-player group that can compete. I think also if you look on the East, Milwaukee, I think Giannis and Middleton, they've got a taste of the second round. They got a taste of the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they can be a deadly duo, especially if Giannis continues to grow and develop his game. I'll also say if Kawhi stays in Toronto, like that, we just seen them beat Golden State without KD.
Mm-hmm.
We just seen it happen. So those would be my 3 off the top of my head. It's hard to say any other team right now. If I had to take a swing at another, I would like to see what Philly does. And then I would also like to see where Kyrie goes and, the pieces that are put together there.
Okay.
I'm going to say, if there's no KD, no Clay, and let's say they resign KD, right? And there's no KD and no Clay. You're looking at a team like, you still got to look at Portland. If you going against them with now is no Clay.
Don't talk to me about Portland.
No, I will. Without Clay
Don't talk.
and KD, I'm good. You don't hear about.
Don't talk to me about Portland.
Without Clay and KD.
Don't talk to me.
If Clay was still there, yeah, but without Clay and KD, I'm gonna say Portland.
KD, Fireman, Danny. Edit that segment out the show. Please. We don't want to hear nothing about.
Because who else would they have?
We don't want to, but they got issues too, though, right? They're gonna have cap issues.
Oh, they definitely got cap issues.
They're gonna lose guys.
But their main 3 players they still gonna have.
And then they couldn't win a game.
No, Nurk was hurt. You gotta think they're getting Nurk back, and now you think the Golden State is down. KD and Clay. I'm saying you ask what teams are getting better. If you eliminate Clay and KD, that puts them right there with them.
I don't agree with that one.
Especially with Nurk healthy.
I don't agree.
I'm not saying like in a 7-game series. I don't know how everything will play out, but if you take away Clay, that's a totally different animal.
With Clay's only gonna be gone.
I'm saying we don't know that.
We do know that. We know the timetable for coming back for ACL.
We don't know how they're gonna be looking by then, especially if they keep KD and they don't, they max out Clay.
So what would you? So even with saying that, so
you still got Denver.
Yeah.
Like
I haven't seen Denver play Golden State, so
but I'm just saying, like when you lose firepower like that,
Denver
like,
couldn't beat Portland though. So
when you lose firepower like that,
what about OKC?
yeah, like they don't no KD and no Clay. We just saw what could happen.
another segment to edit out.
Who you say?
We'll
What team?
not talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder on this show until they can win a first-round series. So you edit that out too.
But those are all teams that Golden State, now they had that heavy advantage with Clay and KD, they probably are going to struggle with.
I know we talking about Clay like he's like just foregone, like just gone. Like we know he's resigning.
Well, we
We all know
we
he's
know
resigning.
No, I'm just saying
next year.
next year.
Like next
Like
year.
teams that they're going to have to deal with. And then he's going to come back around. He's going to come back around February, March. There's no telling where they're going to be in the standings.
Obviously, there's no telling there.
So, if I'm looking at just the totality of the league and the Western Conference, I just can't say Golden State is better than any of these teams just right off the bat without Clay and KD.
I just don't see any team being better than them. Besides the Lakers, maybe Denver, record-wise. Yeah, and in the Eastern Conference teams, I agree on. I think Toronto, I think Milwaukee is both better than them without KD. 100%. I've been saying that before the playoffs started, when the playoffs started. So, no KD, no championship for them, especially versus those Eastern Conference teams. But they also have to keep Kawhi, and then the Bucks have some issues of their own to talk about. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later.
So, where do you answer your own question?
You just said it.
I just said it.
You
I just said it. The 2 teams in the East.
That's it?
The 76ers got too many question marks. Houston Rockets got a lot of question marks. I'm damn sure not gonna say the Blazers gonna beat them. And
Well, not necessarily even beat them, but just like,
I'm talking about challenge them and beating them.
He talking
and
about
beat them.
He's not talking about challenge. He's talking about beating them.
I'm talking about
dethroning
beating them, dethroning them,
Like being
stopping them in the series.
representing the West in the finals. That's what he asked.
So let me ask y'all this, to piggyback off of that.
Good question, all right?
It was.
Yeah, good question. Damn, like, even with Houston, man, like with no Clay or KD, like Houston can't beat them.
I mean, they might not have CP3. I mean,
I don't even.
we
I'm
haven't
not
talked
even
about
going.
that yet.
I'm not even going to say that. I just Houston just reminds me of a team that is focused so much on beating one team that once they meet that team, they don't. They're too. Their emotions are too high for it. Like they don't control what they can control. They don't just play their game. They're trying to play their game plus the Warriors game plus control the referees. Like they're trying too hard to beat Golden State. They get out of character. They just implode. Like I just think it's all internal. Like we seen it this year. The owner got to talking, the GM got to talking, the coach got to talk. Like they got to bringing up stats from last year, tweets from last year. Like all of this stuff was just like, dude, go out there and play the game. Control what you can control. And I just feel like Houston is they're too concerned with beating them that they're psyching themselves out. And now with, all the rumblings of Chris Paul and Harden not talking for 2 months and Harden potentially, Paul saying he want to leave and he demanding a trade. Like, listen, that's just too much right there that they have to fix internally before I think they can even begin to worry about the Warriors. Period.
I mean, they're talking about trading some of their 4 out of 5. 3 out of their 4 key guys.
Who, Capella?
They got Capella, Gordon, and CP3 all in some type of trade talks.
Yeah, come on.
Or looking to shop, or like. And you said it. You was like, man, the happiest team in the West has got to be the Houston Rockets to see what has unfolded with the Warriors.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't even be looking for changes. Like, why are you looking for changes? Like, you've been the one team in the West that's been able to push them to the highest limits.
Yeah.
You haven't been able to get past them, yeah, but you've been able to push them more than any other team in the West. You should not be looking to make changes right now. They're without their best guy. They're gonna be without Clay for 9 months, 9 to 10 months. Like, you should be trying to just make sure your team is strong, add maybe some vets or some more key guys to the roster, and then keep it pushing, right? But no, they're trying to shake up their whole roster still. Like, they're trying to look for deals. They're trying to look for this deal, look for that deal. Why? That's my question. My question for the GM or for the coach, whoever calling the shots, would be why? Why are you looking to deal?
Because they feel like, I still feel like they don't think they have it. Like they don't think they have enough. Like they're looking for the Philadelphia where they have 4 All-Stars. They're looking for the Golden State where they have 4 All-Stars. That's what they're looking for. They're looking to. The GM just came out earlier this week and said they're still looking for another star. Like, you got Capella, you got CP3, you got Harden. If you can't compete, or win with those 3, like, dude, there's nobody else you can. Like, who else are you going to add? Like, you're going to send away your whole team to get Jimmy? Like, and then what? Like, then what? Like, I don't know, man. I'm with you, 5. I don't get it. Like, why are you still looking to add a star?
That would
For what reason?
That would be my question. Why? This is your year. Like, this is your year. If you think your window is closed, like, you're already done. Because this is the year. This is everybody's year in the West. In the Western Conference, this is your year.
This is the year.
This is the year. Like, it is wide open. Like, this is your chance.
I agree.
Because if you don't, and they're able to retool their team and re-sign guys, yeah, good luck for another 2 years because they're going to continue to run it.
Well, we're going to get into what I was getting into at the beginning of the show. AD to the Lakers. That was some of the best news we got. When did that happen?
Saturday.
Saturday? So.
Hey, how the news came out, it was funny. No, it was funny. Because we was in the group chat, and we was talking about Brandon Jennings tearing his Achilles, and how I was telling y'all how I didn't know that, and then I was just like, I don't know, like 5 responded, and I was just like, AD to the Lakers. He was like, what?
I went right to Woj.
I went right to Woj page.
I
went right
to
Woj
was like,
page.
what?
What? Yeah, let me go to Woj page, man. Let me see if the news is for real.
Yeah.
I was in the rain doing it for Lil Saint, boy. Boy, my neighbors probably look at me like I was crazy, boy. Ooh, I just got out my car. I had just parked. I was ready.
So the Lakers get AD. Pelicans get Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, and Brandon Ingram, and 3 first-round picks, which include that number 4 pick. Me personally, I think both sides got what they wanted to accomplish. I think the Pelicans got a really good young core, and I think, as we've seen in Vegas, the odds for the Lakers winning the championship just went through the roof by adding AD with LeBron.
Absolutely did.
I will let y'all take it from there.
Dan, I really want to start off, but I want to give you some credit actually.
Who?
You. I want to give you some credit. So, but when the deal first went down, I was like, all right, both sides won. You know, everybody's, obviously you gotta have people saying Lakers gave up too much.
Mm-hmm.
They gave up this, they gave up that. But you pointing out that Brandon Ingram is a free agent next year
Oh, yeah.
was like restricted free agent next year. So if the Lakers had no intentions on paying him high dollars, and you get a team that says, hey, like, I'm willing to give you the max. I want to give him the max. We would have lost him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We would have lost him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, in all fact, if that does happen with New Orleans, and they just flat out just lose him, they don't get anything back for him, it's an automatic win, I think,
For the Lakers.
for the Lakers. I mean, if they lose Brandon Ingram after a year and they get nothing back, the Lakers win, head over heels win the deal. Because you only get a year of them, and then we kept Kuz. The guy who's making the lesser money. He's got another year on his deal,
Mm-hmm.
and we get another year to groom him, and then we can see what he has, and then we can, when time comes, we can decide if we want to pay him or not. But the Brandon Ingram aspect of it, though, was very huge. It changed my whole mindset because I forgot all about that his contract was up.
And he still got those blood clots. You never know how that's gonna turn out too.
Well, they say it's gone.
Yeah,
but
it's
then
gone, but
they also said it's in his underarm.
Oh, no.
His blood clot is in his underarm.
Alright.
So it's more so like if it was to come back for him, it's more so like maybe like a pain tolerance type of thing.
Yeah.
More so like Bosch was in his leg.
Yeah, that's the big one.
So-
Yeah, you don't want him in your leg.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the big thing for me. I mean, obviously, the Lakers getting Anthony Davis. I mean, next year we're gonna be the only team with 2 top 10 players on the same team, like because there's no KD with Curry, so there's nobody else who can match that type of star power right off the top. But obviously, you still got Phil in the roster. They're doing some other things in terms of trying to create cap space, trying to get themselves some flexibility, whether they can add another superstar or they want to add, vets, for 10, 12, 15 mil. But, I mean, that trade pushes them to where they want to be. Like, I don't think people realize that. Like, it pushes them where they want to be. Like, it may not look like it at the same time because everybody's going to be like, oh, they ain't enough, and, they're going to have problems. He can't stay healthy. Well, neither could the 2 guys that we traded either. I mean,
And you can't predict injuries.
yeah, Lonzo hasn't played a full season. Ingram's been hurt both years.
Yeah.
Like, we just traded 2 guys who can't stay healthy either. Like, for a guy who can't stay healthy. And I get it. He's a glass man. Trust me. I play enough fantasy. And
My
I
God.
play Anthony Davis enough to know that he could get hurt at any time.
Headed to the locker room.
Yes, headed to locker room. He is a headed to locker room king. But at the same time, he's a top 10 talent. If he's healthy, if you have LeBron healthy, and you can surround him with quality guys, they're going to compete versus every team in the league. Point blank, period.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Will, what you got?
I think both teams won the deal. I think it was a stalemate. The Pelicans were able to get Lonzo, which is he's a solid defender at the point guard spot. They compare him with Drew Holiday, who's a solid defender.
Hold on, real quick. Do they got the best defensive backcourt in the league?
I don't know. It's up there.
I gotta be close, right?
It's up there. They close.
I agree.
They get the number 1 pick with Zion. They got Ingram, who was showing flashes after the All-Star break of what he could be. So, you know, they're young, and I think they'll be able to run a little bit, and they still have the number 4 pick. Where I think the Lakers win, of course, they get AD. But where I'm going to say they won is the 3 first-round picks. Like, if you really look at those 3 first-round picks, so yeah, the Pelicans get this one, the number 4 pick, but then after that, they have the ability. So the 2021 pick is top 8 protected, which we know the Lakers shouldn't be in the lottery in 2021, right? So, but they can't swap that pick until 2022, right? Right. So then, if you go from there, then it's they have the ability to swap. They have the ability to swap picks in 23. It's an unprotected pick, first round pick in 24, and then it's an unprotected swap in 25, right? So the Pelicans only have, after this year, they only have the ability to get 2 of the Lakers' first round picks, and 2 of those two of the picks that they could get are swaps. So they're hoping that the Lakers have a lesser pick than them. So really, the way I'm looking at it is they're going to get the pick in 2022 and 2024. So go ahead, take it. And they'll probably be high picks because the Lakers will still have Anthony Davis. They probably, even with LeBron coming off the books, they'll have money to, once LeBron's final 3 years are over, they'll have the money on the books to be able to sign another max player, whoever it could be at that time. So the Lakers could still be competing, but the Lakers could still be better than the Pelicans. That's the thing. The Lakers just have to be better than the Pelicans for them to be able to keep some of their picks. So when people say, oh, the Lakers gave up a lot, when you look at it, they really did. Of course, I want Ingram to stay, but when you start to look at the money and the dollars and the cents, you got to keep Kuzma. You got Kuzma for $1.9 million.
Makes sense, man.
You got Kuzma was 1.9 and Brandon was like $7 million. All right, Brandon, I'll holler. I can get a Pelicans jersey.
Enjoy the gumbo. Enjoy the gumbo. And the biggest thing is, after the trade, they said AD intends to re-sign with the Lakers. So that was a big gamble. A lot of teams was thinking about he might not even re-sign with the Lakers.
Get him for 4 or 5 years.
But you know what? I think, and I hate to say it this way, but that Sports Illustrated magazine article that came out with Rich Paul, and he said in the article that AD was going to the Lakers regardless, he wanted to be a Laker. I think that right there kind of forced the Pelicans' hand to make the deal. Once anybody read that article or just read that clip in an article where Rich Paul said AD wants to be a Laker, he doesn't want to play anywhere else. Everybody, I'm sure all other teams just yeah, we're not doing anything.
But we're not going to give away too much.
No,
because it's only going to be a 1-year run. Look at Danny Ainge. I mean, took all Danny Ainge's bluff. He
didn't want to get rid of Tatum.
He didn't want to get rid of Tatum because he knew it was a possibility of him only being a 1-year guy for them.
But see, I think Danny Ainge really doesn't. He never pulls the trigger. Think about it. Danny Ainge had the ability to get Kawhi Leonard for Jaylen Brown and didn't pull the trigger. Even if that was a 1-year run. Kawhi Leonard is leaps and bounds better than whatever Jaylen Brown is going to be.
Gordon Hayward.
He didn't even want to pull the trigger to trade for Paul George.
Hey man, hell of a 1-year run, right? Kawhi.
And look at Paul George. If you want to go back to Paul George was hell bent on going to LA too, right? He went to OKC. He enjoyed his time. He loved it. They didn't get out the first round when he was there, but he re-signed for 5 years. Sometimes you have to call a player's bluff as a GM. Sometimes you just have to do it. You got to take that gamble, especially if it turns out like Kawhi Leonard. Toronto can't be mad if Kawhi leaves in free agency. He did everything he was supposed to do this year. He won you a championship. It might be the only one you ever win, but you got it, right? If Paul George went to Boston, 2 years ago, and Boston competes in the finals, who says that Paul George wouldn't have re-signed? Who says that, and even if Paul George, what if they would have won that year? Right? Who says Paul George has to stay? Y'all won another championship. He did everything he was supposed to do. Sometimes you gotta call these players bluff, sometimes you gotta pull the trigger. I know potential and what they project players to be is cool, but sometimes you gotta go with the surefire name and you gotta risk it all.
I agree.
So let me ask y'all this: with them having AD now, who should be the next player the Lakers target? Should they target one individual, max him out, like say a Kemba or a Jimmy, or should they just go filling in spots and not paying for that next max guy?
Here's the one thing I hate about my team, right? We all about names. All right, so even though the smart thing to do probably is to go get 2 or 3 like quality guys. I'll get into some names later, but I really think they want another big name guy. Like, we're about stars. I mean, we're in Hollywood. Like, we got stars in the seats. They want stars on the floor. Magic has set the clear agenda that the Lakers do not want LeBron James doing everything every single game of 82-game season, and they don't want him doing everything in the playoffs. They did that with the roster last year. They wanted to add all these playmakers, and so LeBron wouldn't have to be the playmaker and kind of go about that. So I know they're going to go after another star. Now, whether they get that star that they want or they're looking for is a different story. But I think they need to go after guys like J.J. Redick. Shout out to Remy, who the first person I saw mention J.J. Redick, which would be a great signing for them. They need a knockdown shooter at the 2 guard. He's going to space the floor. He's going to move it out the ball. Like, can't help off him at all. And then he allows another guy like a Kuzma to get better shots and spreads the floor for him too as well. Obviously, LeBron and AD spreads the floor for them, but he's going to make it easy on other guys too. Maybe Bogdanovich from the Indiana Pacers, another knockdown guy. He's feisty. He can defend a little bit. He actually off the bounce it's a lot better than I thought he ever was. And with his early days, when he was with the Nets and with the Wizards, I saw a lot of off the dribble stuff with the Pacers. I mean, the shooters wise, that's why I would like to see them go after them. Obviously, there's some other guys. I mean, you got Boogie. Can you pair Boogie and Anthony Davis back again with LeBron? You have the best front court in basketball.
That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, you really would.
That would be super tough.
I mean, you'd have the lane would be super clogged though. Super clogged. The lane would be super clogged. But if that's what AD wants to play with, I mean, you gotta kind of.
Do you do it to make him happy?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you got to now. I mean, you have to because he still could
Leave. Even if it's 99.9 that he's going to stay,
still
it's that
could
point
leave.
one that he could bounce.
Still could leave, So,
yeah, I'm with you on
that. And that's if you don't use it to get a cap guy.
Yeah.
They're going to get a cap. They're going to fish for the cap guy first. I can automatically tell you that. They're going to go after Kemba. They're going to call Kyrie in now. They're going to call Jimmy in there. They want another max guy. They want another guy to where they want to take the load off of LeBron as much as possible. They know how old he is. They know that they've seen it too. They've seen it. I mean, we've seen an injury, right? He goes down for 17 games. We don't make the playoffs. And it really was because of the injury that they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think they would have made it if he stays healthy. They were on a nice little streak. They were getting some rhythm going. Now, winning a championship, that's a different story. But making the playoffs, I think they would have made the playoffs. But they don't want LeBron doing that anymore. We saw what happened, right? LeBron tried to take the first 10 games of the season, kind of cruise in and see what other guys had going, and they ain't have it. And we started off rocky. And then LeBron kind of kicked it into gear a little bit, and then other guys kicked it in, and then we started winning games. But, I mean, they're going after another max guy.
All right. How you feel? What route you think they should take?
I say use the cap space to fill out your roster. Right? So I'm gonna give y'all some names. Just of new players that they got. Seth Curry, another shooter. He can play both guard positions. Avery Bradley, defender. He can play the 2 guard. He's a free agent. J.J. Redick, of course you already mentioned him. Trevor Ariza.
I like the reason.
Bojan Bogdanovich, Pat Beverly, Wayne Ellington, Brook Lopez. You can now throw Al Horford in that mix, right? And then we still got Melo. Melo is still out there. So I think, like, for me, what I would do, and this is what I said before I heard how terrible the free agent class for next year was going to be. I would fill out the roster that way, and then probably would have went for somebody next year. But with the way the free agency class looks next year, I could see the Lakers going for their guy this year. But then if they do that, then you have to bring back Reggie Bullock. You got to bring back Rondo. You got to potentially look at bringing back KCP, JaVale McGee, like everybody, Lance Stevenson, like everybody that was on your team last year. You're kind of looking to bring all those back. Maybe convince a veteran to sign for the mid-level or the vet minimum. You know, like I said, they'll have those two still available to them to be able to use. And then throughout the season, kind of look at the buyout market to see what it'll look like.
Jeff said the Clippers got 2 max contracts. What if they get Kawhi and Butler to go with Bev and Lou Will?
Bev's a free agent. If they get Jimmy and Kawhi, they're not gonna be able to afford Bev.
Or unless they go over, since they had
him last year,
they can go over the cap for re-signing him. But I mean,
it's new territory for them.
Yeah,
they haven't been in the cap. They haven't been in luxury.
And I don't know if Jimmy and Kawhi will work well together.
That's good. I don't see Kawhi leaving.
I do.
Why?
Because
that's my thing. Why?
I think I would go back to.
Why would he leave? Why would he leave to go play with the Clippers?
Go back to what I said. He wants to be at home. I told you that this last week. You want to be home. LA is the Clippers are the second team in LA. They don't get a lot of spotlight. They won't have a lot of games on TV. It's like the perfect scenario for Kawhi. Like the perfect scenario.
Not team-wise, though.
Not team-wise, but I'm just saying, like, he'll kind of be in the same space he was with Toronto. Like, he'll be, like, Toronto is a forgotten country, right? Like, nobody really pays attention to the Raptors until the playoffs. Nobody's going to pay attention to the Clippers. Nobody. Even with Kawhi on the team, nobody's going to pay attention to the Clippers. Everybody is still, and even with Anthony Davis in a Lakers jersey, like, bro, the Clippers are, it don't matter who the Clippers sign.
I think if he does go to the Clippers, like, that's going to heighten them. Like, they're going to start getting that attention. Especially, they're going to try to hype up the LeBron versus Leonard rivalry, and they're going to get the attention. But I'm not leaving. Like, as bad as y'all want to bash Kyle Lowry, I'm not going to leave Kyle Lowry to go play with Shea Alexander. I'm not going to leave Gasol and Ibaka to go play with Zubac and Montrezl Harrell. Like, why? Like, you know, like, I get it. Lou's a star. Doc Rivers is a star. They got Jerry West. They got great front office. Great front office. Great front office. Great coach. But why? I mean, just why? Like, Toronto, like, roster, even if they lose Gasol or Ibaka, which they probably will because just of the money, because Gasol makes $20 million, and then Ibaka's making $20 million this next season, so they just can't afford to pay everybody. They're going to be deep into the luxury. But they're still going to be good. Like, no matter if they lose one of those two guys or not, like, they're still going to be good. They're still going to run the East. Well, not run the East, but they'll be in contention to get out of the East with that roster every single year.
Let me ask you this, though. It's rumored that their GM has a $10 million deal on the table, or the Wizards gonna try to throw him.
It ain't rumored. They throwing it in a bag.
So if the GM leaves, I mean, who's gonna be a GM? Who's gonna come in and construct the team? Who's like I think it's a lot of answers that Toronto has to answer. Right? A lot of questions that Toronto has to answer right now that they didn't have to last year, right? Where those same questions the Clippers don't have to answer.
I mean, they've had some GM mistakes too.
But they got Jerry West. Jerry is there. Doc is there. Like, the two of them together, who could the Raptors bring in as a GM? And we probably can't name him right now, so it's rhetorical.
Yeah, I don't even know the Raptors GM name. I know him when I see him.
Yeah, but I mean, who could they bring in?
Fire off, old buddy. You got a hell of a right hook.
Well, who could they bring in that could convince Kawhi to stay and say, "Hey, we'll be able to keep all of these guys"?
Show him that trophy.
If Pop can't convince you to stay, I really don't know. Like, I don't know if it really matters. Like, Pop's one of the best basketball minds in basketball. So, it's just a Kawhi thing. He's just a different guy. He's a little bit different guy, and he's not your typical superstar. And I don't think GMs or coaches really know how to really kind of deal with him. To be honest with you, I think it's a kind of a feel out type thing. But I just don't know. Just going, that roster just doesn't sound like championship to me. I'm gonna roll out Shea Alexander,
Gallinari.
First of all, they start Shamit. They don't even start Lou. Lou come off the bench. They start Shamit, Kawhi. You're gonna have probably Gallinari at the four and Zubac. Oh, does that sound like championship to you?
Shit, Kyle Lowry
with Lou and Montrezl Harrell come off the bench, and they really don't have anybody else.
The Kyle Lowry, Siakam, Ibaka.
Absolutely, yeah.
That sound like championship.
They had just got there. They had almost gotten there the past 2 years without him, with DeRozan. We knew they were going to contend, like, especially with no LeBron needs. Come on, man. We knew they were going to contend.
Yeah, but championship, that's contending and championship. That's two different things. Because I think the Clippers can contend.
When you playing a team that's 60% healthy, you better fucking win a championship.
You just got to give yourself a chance.
You gotta
but what I'm saying is, like,
exactly, you give yourself a chance.
No, but what I'm saying is the Clippers can contend. With Kawhi on that team.
With that team?
Yeah, they can contend.
With that team?
They just made the
Then
playoffs.
Then if you lose Pat Bev, you lose some of that.
Yeah, that's
that
another.
You know
that right there.
That's if Kawhi and Jimmy go. If it's just Kawhi, they can sign.
They can sign
Pat Bev back. But if it's Kawhi and Jimmy, there's no.
I don't think Jimmy is going to the Clippers.
So let's talk about it then. You still got Kyrie available. Jimmy's a free agent. Who else we got? Horford has said he's not gonna.
They jagged him. It's not that he said it. They jagged him.
Who else we got?
Do you blame Boston?
No, but he should have never opted out the last year of that deal anyway. $30 million.
Are you giving Al Horford a 4-year deal?
I think he wanted 3. I think he wanted like 3 year, like $20 million a year. Like give him $60 million. He's 36 and he's out the game. But
are you giving Al?
No, I said Boston. I said it earlier. Boston did right. I wouldn't have gave him the damn money either. But he should have never opted out that last year of the contract. That was a mistake. And he needs to fire his agent, whoever he is.
And then you got Harrison Barnes as well.
Him and Harrison Barnes gotta have the same agent. They gotta have the same agent. I'm gonna look it up after the show too. They have to.
So let's start with Kyrie. Where is he going?
Brooklyn Nets.
All right.
Do the Lakers have enough money to sign a max player?
Even if they do, he's going to the Brooklyn Nets.
If the Lakers can't clear enough space to have a max guy, he's going to Brooklyn.
If they can.
If they can, Kyrie is going to the Lakers. Kyrie is going. If they have enough money to sign another max guy, Kyrie is going to the Lakers.
He's actually a LA. He's got that type of like game where, flashy type game, finesse type game. Like he kind of fits the Laker mold.
And that would be a nasty 3-headed monster.
Oh, it's over with. Championship. I'm saying it now. Championship. This is my thing though. Everybody, all the reports we've been seeing with Kyrie going to Brooklyn is like as soon as free agency starts, he's gonna sign with them. If he don't sign with them when free agency starts, like we've been reading,
you're gonna start to think the Lakers are more and more.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Don't be surprised if you hear a report that LeBron and Kyrie had a talk on June 30th somewhere in America. Do not be surprised.
I just read somewhere that they had dinner together.
No, you not understand what I'm saying. Don't be surprised if they have a conversation late night, June 30th, going into July 1st, so LeBron could put it in Kyrie's mind to come play with him and Anthony Davis in LA. Do not be shocked if and when you read that report.
I think it's gonna play out. Kyrie signs with Brooklyn. KD opts in to the 1 year left on his deal.
Okay.
Gets the money with Golden State, and he bolts to Brooklyn himself.
The next year?
Yes, the Rock Nation deal kind of put it into play for me. Like with Kyrie leaving his agent, going to Rock Nation, like that tells me that he's been talking to KD. Like it really does. I mean, it tells me that he's been talking to KD because KD was the driver behind him even wanting to even go with Rock Nation in the first place.
Okay.
So I think that's gonna have something to do with it. I think they've had conversations. I heard that he was already in the hospital with him. Obviously, if it's his friend, he's checking up on his health wise. So that doesn't mean like they just going necessarily wanting to talk about playing together. But at the same time, there's something behind it. There's a relationship behind that.
Yeah, Kyrie, I think he's going to Brooklyn. But like I said, if after that first day, he don't sign right away, Lakers' chances increase. They increase. But I do think the Lakers will end up getting Kimba.
But I also think the Lakers don't have to give him the max either.
Who, Kyrie?
I don't think they have to give him the max. Like,
If you could get Kyrie without giving him max,
I think they can give him. I think they can give him like. They don't have to spend all of that $32 million. Right? They give him like.
24, 25?
I mean, like 3 year, 85, 90 mil. 4 year, 105, 110 mil. Like, I think he'll do it. But at the same time, with Rock Nation now, like Rock Nation has been known to like try to bleed teams out. Besides KD, KD's been the only person who signed with them who hasn't got like this big, huge, large contract. So we'll see how it plays out though.
So let me ask this question. If you're Kyrie, I think the one question you have to ask yourself, do you take the chance of going to Brooklyn and being the guy and waiting for KD to get healthy? Or do you go play with a guy that you already know and play with another top 10 player that's around your age where y'all could potentially dominate the league? So just picture this. They could potentially dominate the league with Kyrie, LeBron, and AD for about the next maybe 5 years.
I don't think LeBron's gonna pay that long.
No. I'm just saying, like,
then they continue to have Kyrie.
They still will have Kyrie and AD, and they still like think about it. AD is 26. Kyrie is what, 20?
Gotta be like 27.
Okay, 27. So in 3 years, AD is 29. Kyrie is 30. In 4 years, AD is 30. Kyrie is 31. Like, bro, they still could be dominating the league. And now you're looking at LeBron's potentially out of the league. KD is probably out of the league, or he's not. He's no longer in his prime. Steph Curry is up there in age. Klay is up there in age. Like, you start looking around the league, like, where's your... Yes, there's going to be competition because there's going to be younger guys, but who's going to be in their prime at the time where y'all are still kind of in your prime, on your way out of your prime?
No, I agree. I mean, career-wise, yeah, it's an absolute match for him. Like, I don't know if that really matters to him. Like, that's my only thing. Like, I don't know how bad he really wants to win. I'm not saying that he's not a winner. I'm not saying that he doesn't want to win, but I don't know how bad he really wants it. Like, you know, like some people, like, you just know, like, want it bad. They want that. They want, you know, he's already got a taste of it too, which kind of like doesn't fall in the Lakers' kind of hand. Like, he's won already. Like, he knows what it feels like, and then he left the next year. Like, so, you know, like, so how bad does winning really matter? Like, how bad does winning really matter to him? And like I said, I'm not trying to say that he's not a winner. I'm not saying he doesn't want to win, but I'm just saying that his thirst just to win only may not be there. So,
And he might not want to be, you know, playing with LeBron again. You're gonna be under his shadow. He might not want to go through that again. You remember that interview where they said, "How does it feel with LeBron playing a father-like figure?"
Yeah, but see, I think like
that's the media.
But that's what I'm saying,
Media
though.
asks stupid questions.
They do, but at the same time, that's the stuff that comes with playing with LeBron. You're gonna get asked dumb questions, and obviously he didn't want to be under him because he left already. Who's to say he wouldn't want to do that again?
But he kind of admitted, right? Like, he came out this year and he said, like, I saw what LeBron went through with me. Like, I was 22 years old. I wanted to be the main guy. I wanted to be the guy that led us to a championship. I wanted everything to go my way. Like, I mean, the saying, the grass ain't always green on the other side, has some truth to it. Like, people ain't make that up for no reason. Like, Kyrie was ready to lead a team. He even said before LeBron came back, he never thought he was going to come back. He thought it was going to be his team. Like, he was caught with a curveball from left field when LeBron came back. Like, he wasn't prepared for it mentally. He went and tried to do his own thing for 2 years. It didn't work out in his favor. It wasn't all he thought it would be. So I think, like, that's why I think he will understand, like, man, I have the ability to go back and play with a guy that I've won with, that I've tasted 3 NBA finals with. You know, like my first one I was hurt, the second one we won, the third one we got the dog shit beat out of us. But I mean, we played the healthiest team ever in basketball, and it was almost impossible for them to win. They were happy to win one game. So you have the ability to do it, and you don't have to worry about that juggernaut anymore right now. And then by the time, if the juggernaut comes back, like, we're building our own juggernaut. We're building our own. You know what I'm saying? Because we still haven't even got into the whole, like, think about it. If the Lakers were to sign Kyrie this year to a 4-year deal, right? They still have AD for 1 year this year. They could re-sign AD. I mean, they will re-sign AD the next year, you know what I'm saying, for whatever he's going to get. But they'll re-sign him for 4 or 5 years. And so you know your pieces for the next 5 years.
What if he's willing to take the KD special, the 2-year, $50 million, opt out the first year deal, see if I want to take the Supermax?
See, that's what I'm saying.
It's Rock Nation. I mean, it's Rock Nation too, same agent.
And it plays into it truly plays into his hands. Like, he can go to LA this year. It's wide open in the West. They can represent the West. They can win a championship. Like Five said, he could do it for a year, win a championship, and he can say, hey, I'm going to go to Brooklyn now.
The one thing I would be scared with, though, if he does go to LA, KD's gonna go back to Golden State. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be able to be without KD for a year, obviously, but then next year, like, they gonna be back. Like, it's gonna be like, all right, we back. All right, no with the BS. All right, we back. Y'all, it was cute while it lasted. You know, like, all right, now we back. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only thing. They would turn them back up. You know, seeing them get they big 3 started.
And I haven't seen any reports like, you know, as soon as the AD trade comes out, the next headline you see is the Lakers are going to make Kemba Walker the next top free agent. I haven't seen anything about the Lakers saying that they even want to go after Kyrie like that.
That's actually a good thing.
Yeah, because I think it's not going to come out because around basketball, like around the basketball world, everybody is just preparing for Kyrie to go to Brooklyn. And that's why I say, let's watch toward that right before free agency starts. Let's see what the report is around that time. And I'm telling you, do not be shocked. Because LeBron is going to recruit. And I believe the first person he's going to call is Kyrie Irving. Because what do they need now? They need a point guard. They don't need another small forward. They don't need they need a shooting guard, but they don't need, I don't think the Lakers need Jimmy. They need a point guard. If they're going to sign a max guy, it needs to be a point guard. Either Kemba or Kyrie, period.
I think they're looking at Jimmy as sort of like a Wade type deal. I think that's what they like, Wade, LeBron, Bosh.
Oh,
Like we can get by with just having a
Chalmers
type point guard. Like if we have these 3 guys, that's the only reason why I think they're going after Jimmy.
Yeah.
And
I get you.
I will continue to say it, but they have defensive coaches now. Like their coaches are all about the defense. Like Jimmy is defense. Like he's a defense first guy. And then offense later. So that's the only reason why I think they may be kind of leaning towards Jimmy a little bit more than they are leaning towards like a Kyrie or a Kemba type deal.
So we got Kyrie, Brooklyn. I think he's going to Brooklyn. You think LA? What do you think Kemba?
Charlotte. No, take it back. It's between the Knicks and the Lakers. If I had to pick, I'm gonna say the Knicks.
I'm gonna say the Knicks and Charlotte, but I have to see Charlotte make some moves. They have too many big contracts on their books. We all know Jordan ain't paying the $5, you know.
Definitely not.
Jordan ain't paying the $5 to go into luxury for Kemba Walker. So I gotta see them make some deals before the free agency.
Okay.
If they can get rid of Batum contract, if they can get rid of MKG contract or Biz Biombo contract,
Whew.
like I can see them re-signing. I can see him
Williams
re-signing.
contract.
I think
Nah,
that's
he
like,
just,
no,
he just did an extension, did he?
no, he just opted into the
He
last
opted
year.
in, he opted in.
He opted in, but he's a North Carolina guy. He ain't getting rid of him. He ain't getting rid of him.
Zeller making bread.
Hey, he a North Carolina guy. He ain't getting rid of him.
Cut it. I think if Kyrie was to go to LA or didn't end up in Brooklyn, I think that's where Kemba would be. If they don't sign,
Brooklyn
if they
or-
don't
or
sign
one of the other.
D'Angelo Russell,
Oh, okay.
I think Kemba would go.
To Brooklyn?
I think he'll go to Brooklyn.
No New York.
I think the Knicks are gonna strike out.
He's a New York guy.
I think the Knicks are gonna strike out.
He's coming from Brooklyn? I think he is from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I think he goes
I
to
think he is from
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
I think the Knicks are gonna strike out.
Yes,
He is from,
he
he is
is.
from Brooklyn.
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't see the Knicks getting anybody.
Nobody?
I mean, who wants to go play for the Knicks?
Kevin Durant?
I never believed that one.
I never believed
I
it.
never believed he wanted to go play for the
You
Knicks.
said Kemba's from
No way he wanted to go play for the Knicks. Who? Okay, so where does Jimmy end up?
Whoever gives him the most money. You know what?
Philly.
Yeah,
He gonna stay
I
in
was
Philly.
I was just gonna say.
I didn't know how much money Philly really
Yeah.
had left. They got like
Philly.
60 mil in cap. He's gonna resign
Philly.
with Philly.
Philly?
Yeah, he's resigning with
Philly.
Philly. He's from the Bronx, not Brooklyn.
Oh, he's from the Bronx.
Probably would
Let me see.
probably would yell at us for saying he's from Brooklyn. but-
Jimmy?
We'll apologize, Kim.
Jimmy.
How can you not? They got like 60 million cap, man.
You know what? It could be between for Jimmy. I think Philly is number one, but I could see because Brooklyn
Yeah.
cap space too. I could see him in Brooklyn.
56 million in cap. Philly got.
Philly?
Mm.
I think it's either.
Nets got 67, but he's not going there by himself.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna be.
He's not going there by himself. I will continue to say that. I don't think anybody is going to Brooklyn by themselves.
So let me ask this. Let me ask this: is Kyrie because before KD got hurt, KD was the lead domino effect to free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Is Kyrie now the lead domino effect to free agency?
With the Anthony Davis being gone, yes. Yes. With the Anthony Davis trade being done,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So let me ask this: if Kyrie goes to Brooklyn, who goes with him?
It's either Jimmy or KD.
Okay.
Or Tobias Harris.
I mean, that's gonna be a salary call on Brooklyn. But I think if personnel wise, if he can pick a person or recruit a person he wants to go with, it's gonna be Jimmy.
So is it safe to say if Kyrie is going to Brooklyn, then he knows either Jimmy or KD is going to sign with Brooklyn as well?
That's what I would say. Yes.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Let's say Kyrie goes to LA. Does Jimmy automatically then go back to Philly? So Ray says New York strikes out this offseason. If Kyrie goes to LA, does Brooklyn strike out in this offseason?
All right, so I talked about this a little bit earlier in the locker room with Jimmy. So I found this very interesting. So the Milwaukee Bucks have been trying to get rid of some of their bigger contracts. Ersan Ilyasova is making $11 million. They got Tony Snell, who's making like $11 million.
Okay.
So that's $18 million cap. They also got George Hill making $18 million
Okay.
next year. They haven't re-signed Brogdon yet. They haven't re-signed Lopez yet. They haven't re-signed Middleton yet. Middleton is probably gonna opt out. They're gonna have some money here in the next week. And how you get a super team started. This is how it all starts, right? Your best player, your best guy, can't be making like super max
Yeah.
or max money. Giannis is making $25 million next year. He's a top 7 player in the league. I don't care how you want to how you want to look at it, how you want to do it. If the Milwaukee Bucks are able to clear some of this cap space, don't be surprised if they go after Jimmy Butler. Like, don't be surprised if they go after D'Angelo Russell. Like, don't be surprised if you start hearing names pop up, if they're able to move the space, if they're able to create that cap space
And not bring back Middleton.
and not bring back Middleton. So maybe bring Brogdon back, bring Jimmy in, and then kind of fill in from there. I think that's their best bet. They need Jimmy. Like,
But why wouldn't you? So let me ask this: why wouldn't you bring Jimmy in? Like, if you clear all that cap space, why not bring Jimmy and then re-sign Middleton and go over the cap?
I think Brogdon's a little younger, and we got to know too. Like, some of these, like, you know, small market teams are like really reluctant to go
Over the cap.
They don't have the attendance that everybody else has. They don't bring in the revenue that everybody else has. So, I would say that. Like, if they don't care about going over the cap, yeah, do it. You know, sign Middleton in, clear cap, sign Jimmy. You know, sign Middleton back, go over the cap. But I just don't think they're gonna do that. I think they may walk for Middleton. Like,
For
I think
Jimmy.
if Jimmy's willing to come in, and we all gotta remember Jimmy's a Marquette guy. He's lived in Milwaukee before. He knows what it's like. So I think if this happens, this is my hot take. This is my hot take for the week. If that happens, don't be surprised if you start hearing Jimmy to the Milwaukee Bucks coming in next week. So that's my hot take.
I'm gonna say
And that puts them over Toronto if they get him. And that puts them over Toronto if they get him. Because Jimmy's not Middleton. Like, he can go out there and get his own. He can defend. And he's that closer that they need.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying
Not
Jimmy
his
is like the
own.
ultimate closer, but can get his own when it matters. And they need that guy desperately. We saw it in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, that's all they were missing. If they have a closer, they probably are in the finals.
So what do you think he's doing?
I think he's gonna stay with Philly.
Okay. And who you got?
Jimmy?
Yeah.
Philly.
I'm gonna say Brooklyn.
That's
So
my
him
second.
and
That's my
Kyrie
second
and
pick.
Brooklyn.
That's my second pick.
I'm gonna say Brooklyn.
That's my second pick.
I think if he don't go to Brooklyn, he stays in.
Philly.
He stays in Philly. What other big name are we? Oh, Clay and KD.
Clay is staying.
Clay stays.
All right, I'm agree.
Katie, New York.
I think KD opts in, and then he plays it, and then he's the lone free agent next year.
Yeah,
Because there's no other real big name guys next year.
I think he just opts in.
Yeah, I think he collect $30 million. You
I will say he-
sit on the sideline and be.
Do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, root your guys on. If they win a ring, you get it.
If he doesn't, do you know who gets? You know who I found out gets rings with Toronto? Valanciunas.
Yep. If you play more than
It was
33 games.
Yeah. if you play
It
more
was,
than 30
it was like
games,
4 of them.
Yeah.
Wright is gonna get a ring. It was a few guys.
If you play a third of the season, I believe.
You remember when Matt Barnes got the ring with Golden State and he only played he like joined the team like a week before the season was over.
Hey, who was that? That was somebody else. Let me see. Oh yeah, who was this? Let me see.
Probably
Valanciunas,
DeLon
C.J.
Wright.
Miles, Greg Monroe.
Probably right.
Yeah, Wright getting it. Greg Monroe.
Greg Monroe.
Malachi Richardson
Yeah.
and Lorenzo Brown.
Must be
They was
good.
all on the team for a good portion.
Yeah, they made some big moves in the trade deadline.
Huge moves.
Made the right move.
Hey, championship moves. So let's see. What was your hot take?
Oh, my hot take?
Yes.
All right, let me give it to y'all. Boom, next year. If the Golden State Warriors do not re-sign Boogie Cousins and they have to roll out a squad with the big three of Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Andre Iguodala, they will not make the playoffs.
That's not hot data. That's 100% correct.
They will. Steph, Draymond, and Iguodala. If that is their big three for a majority of the season, so I'm saying Clay doesn't come back till about February, March, they will not make the playoffs.
I think they will make the playoffs.
You think a Steph Curry led team will make the playoffs.
Here's why. So they do a really good job of adding guys that they really need. Like, so now they know what they're gonna need beforehand. Like, so they're probably gonna make some of the biggest moves, the biggest small moves that you ever see, like in basketball. Like, they're gonna plug a guy here, plug a guy there, plug a guy here, and then all of a sudden now you're gonna be looking, you be like, God damn,
Let me
they actually
remind you.
look kind of okay.
And let me remind you, if they re-sign Clay to the max, they will, and they don't re-sign Boogie or KD, they will have committed to cap $104 million. The cap space is only $109 million. That leaves them $5 million in cap space.
But here's the thing, you know, say doing it the last 2 or 3 years, so their guys are just gonna sign last, like, and then they'll be able to go over the cap a little bit. They've been repeat fenders for the last 2 years in the luxury tax, like, so they're gonna continue to do it. But their guys are just, if they're gonna re-sign those guys and max them out, or KD opts in, like, they're gonna tell them like, hey, like,
No, I'm saying no KD.
No, KD, can't they sign somebody else?
No, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, if he
Like,
opts in, but he's
No, I'm saying if he opts out.
No, this is what I'm saying. If KD does not come back at all,
Right.
they max out Clay, they don't bring back Boogie, they still have committed to the cap $104 million with all the remaining players that they have on their team.
they're just gonna go over the cap. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, Clay won't sign that deal until like July 10th, like, which will give them 9 days to like fill in their roster. They'll probably get a $4 million guy there, $5 million guy there, $7 million guy there, and they'll fill in the roster. And then Clay will come in, max them out, and then there'll be 20 mil or 30 mil over the cap, and then they'll pay the luxury. But they do a good job of really working the magic when it comes to the cap. Like, they might work it the best, to be honest with you, like in the league. And they continue to do it. They will make the playoffs. I got them still making the playoffs.
No KD.
We gotta remember, they were winning games without KD too.
They add Clay. This is a
Sign.
Steph Curry led team.
Depending on where they sign.
Steph Curry led team.
They will make the playoffs.
Steph and Draymond is your big two.
I would bet on that.
Not making the playoffs.
I'd go to Vegas and bet on that.
10-point triple doubles ain't gonna work.
That man.
They not gonna work.
Look good when you win it, but 10-point triple doubles
They're
ain't
gonna
gonna work.
bring in some offensive guys, man. Trust and believe they're gonna bring in some offensive
Man,
guys. They know they need more firepower to get them through the regular season. They're still an attractive team to play for. Let's not forget that. Let's not act like people are gonna be shying away from signing with the Golden State Warriors. Like, no, they still have the best brand of basketball in basketball. So they're gonna be attractive.
I would say they would make it, but I would say they would be at the bottom half.
My thing is though, like, nobody in the West is getting better but the Lakers. Like, nobody's gonna be better in the West. Like, the Jazz are still gonna be the Jazz. The Rockets look like they're about to get worse. Like, who's just getting better? Like, the Timberwolves are still gonna be bad. The Spurs are still gonna have their same roster. They don't like they make
Murray's
no
coming
moves.
back.
They will have DeJounte Murray. Yeah, they will have DeJounte Murray coming back. So they'll
Kings.
be a little better.
The Kings.
I mean, the Kings, yeah, they'll probably make a jump, another leap.
It's just the fact that with Golden State, man,
Who's getting better though? Like,
they get worse though.
I mean, but
They
that's
do get worse.
They
but
get
who's
worse.
But who's getting better
But
to
think about
where,
it.
like, they're gonna? I mean, obviously they're gonna have a somewhat of a drop off, but who's going to literally raise the bar to knock them out?
So you got to ask yourself, if you look at it, right? There's 8 teams that make the playoffs. So if Kawhi goes to the Clippers, can we guarantee can we just pencil in the Clippers and making the playoffs? I would say, yeah.
I will say yes.
Let's pencil in the Lakers making the playoffs. There's a team that's not going to make the playoffs. There's one team, like even if the Lakers are the only new team in the playoffs, there's one team that's not going to make the playoffs. So you're saying out of Golden State, San Antonio, Houston, the Clippers, Portland, Denver, OKC, and Utah. Out of those 8 teams, one of them has to miss it. They don't necessarily have to get that much better. I'm just saying make the playoffs. And Golden State is going to be rolling out a lineup on a nightly basis of Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Andre Iguodala as a big three.
I mean, we act like that's like an awful big three. Like, who big three is almost better than that?
Five.
No, that's an honest question. Whose big three is almost better than that?
I will say if this was
Hold on. Answer my question first. Who's big three? Name me a big three.
Of the teams that made the playoffs,
Listen, Denver. Who's their big three?
Jokic, Murray, and
Millsap.
Millsap. I'm taking that three.
That's better.
I'm taking that three.
Portland.
I'm taking Portland.
Dame, CJ.
I'm taking Portland.
Houston.
With 5. Just remember, we're talking about Steph Curry as the only option at scoring the basketball.
We saying that right now because their roster's not complete, but they're gonna make moves. They're gonna bring in more offense. That's what I'm trying to tell
I
you.
get what you're saying, but their primary scorer is going to be Steph Curry.
They're gonna be fine. Their big three is still better than.
Who the secondary scorer on that big three?
I'm gonna say this about Andre Iguodala. If this was 4 or 5 years ago, I would say that.
He's not gonna give you.
Iggy not playing 30 minutes a night during the regular season.
No, he don't. They monitor his
So that's what I'm saying. If
They
he,
monitor his minutes.
yeah, so like they.
Come on, 5. Like you,
He
just
can't be a
look
part
past,
of the big three.
Just
like.
look past the number one guy. Just look past Steph Curry. Start going. Look at the drop off between production between Steph Curry.
It's easy for me to look at it now because KD and Clay were obviously doing a heavy load. They're carrying a heavy load too, so they're going to be scoring too. So you don't get a real big, large sample size of them without KD and Clay. Like
So
they
you think
still were
Draymond
and even in that, like they still were competing in a game in the NBA Finals versus the NBA champions. Like they're gonna win games. Like and they have one of the best head coaches in basketball. Like I think y'all.
I'm about to see.
He is.
How great he is this year.
When they were a 7 seed the year before he was there, and then all of a sudden they win 66 games. So Kerr is a great coach. As much credit to everybody want to give Mark Jackson. He groomed him. He did this. But bottom line is Steve Kerr took him to the next level, and then he took him to another level on top of a 66 win team. He took him to 73 wins. Like he's a great coach. I don't think people underestimate. And they have a great front office. They're gonna bring guys in. Don't think that that's gonna be it. It's just gonna be Curry, Draymond, and Iguodala. They know what's at stake, and they're gonna bring in guys to compete. They're not gonna just throw in. They're not gonna throw in the towel because they're two of their best guys. They're gonna make moves. They're gonna make moves to fill in the spots as best as they can.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do that. But my thing is they're going to be significantly worse. And that's why I say a lot of teams don't necessarily have to get that much better when you lose the caliber of guys that they lose. Because they ain't losing your average Joe Schmoes. They losing one of the greatest shooters ever and arguably one of the top 2 players on the planet.
Yeah, when they go out there and still get 25, 30 assists a night and they're getting layups and they're getting open shots.
But we've never seen Golden State like this, though.
No, I just said we haven't had a large sample size.
Yeah, so
we haven't had a large sample size. But even when their guys are out, they've had guys out before Draymond, before KD even got there, and they won games. We've seen them win games. They almost beat the Blazers with just Clay and Draymond. I think people forget that. They almost beat the Blazers in a series without Curry. They didn't have no Curry. KD wasn't even there yet. It was just Clay and Draymond out there. They're gonna be capable of winning games. And they're gonna plug in.
You talking about the Blazers before they had Nurkic? That's a difference.
And they still have Barnes.
I think
They still have Barnes.
Might get them back.
And I think that we forgetting one thing, right? I think that you forgetting one thing. It's a difference. There is a difference in strategizing, putting together a game plan for knowing who's playing versus coming up with a strategy once a player has gone down. In the middle of a game. Not because the other team, they get to playing off emotion. And that emotion, it either propels the team to a win or the team just flat out bottoms out. Even in game 6, if you're saying, oh, they competed in Game 6, like we knew the Warriors were going to compete in that Game 6. Like we knew they were going to compete. When Clay went down, we knew they was going to compete even more because now it's like we want to win for KD, we want to win for Clay. They're champions. Like they're not just going to lay down and roll over.
I mean, obviously they're not going to lay down and roll over, but I think their best wasn't going to be good enough to even compete at the end of the game. And it still was.
But what I'm saying is now teams will go in and be able to strategize and understand. Like, look, this all they got. Like I kept saying this. Like, it's a difference when you're game planning for a team and you like, well, KD might come back, he might not come back. We don't know. So here's game plan A, here's game plan B, right? It's a difference when you know, like, this it. This is the Golden State Warriors. This is the Golden State Warriors, right? Like, now teams can be able to key in on Curry. If they go and get somebody else, then you start to figure out your game plan from there. But I'm just saying, like, they're going to be easy to me to strategize for next year without Clay.
I mean,
Clay,
like I said,
that's the big one.
But my thing is, like, people are doing that with the Lakers now. Like, you see people saying, oh, they gave up too much, they're not going to have enough. But they're not waiting until the roster is filled out and they've added pieces and they've gone out. So we have to do the same thing with Golden State. Like, we know they're going to be down 2 guys. Let's see who they bring in. Like, let's see the pieces that they add. And if they add in key guys, like, to key spots, knowing that they could be like a 1-year rental. Like, because you might have a guy who, or maybe a guy like Middleton, like who price dropped down a little bit at the end of in the playoffs. Milwaukee not throwing them big money. All right, we said the same thing with Boogie. Like, when Boogie signed with him, it was like, man, why did Boogie sign with him? And he signed with him because he was looking for the big deal to prove himself. And you're gonna continue to find guys like that because that seems like the direction where people are going. 1-year deals, prove myself, get paid. Let's go from there. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, those type of guys are gonna be out there. That's all I'm saying. Like, and don't be surprised because Golden State is a very attractive place to play. They're playing in a new arena next year. Like, they have great front office. They get you, if they get a meeting with you and they show you all the statistics, they show you all the players, they show you all the coaches, like, they can win you over and they will sign key guys. Like, and they've done it time and time again. Like, we were surprised they got KD. I wasn't surprised, but everybody was so surprised that they got KD. But that's what they do, though. I mean, that's what they're going to continue to do.
I'm going to say no Clay, no KD next year. Depending on who, if they don't re-sign like a Boogie, I mean, 6 through 8. Western Conference.
So you got to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I got to make the playoffs. Because, I mean, last year was a tight race, like from like 6 through like 8. Like,
with a little bit of throwing away money.
All right, look, me and Booth, we on the same
You need 48 wins. You need 48 wins to make the playoffs. 48 wins.
I don't see a Steph Curry led team getting 48 wins.
Jesus, y'all disrespecting the chef like that, huh?
Jeez.
You don't get the same looks, man.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see
it's going to be tough.
I don't see that
still
man getting 48 wins.
Y'all disrespecting the chef.
I'm being respectful. I call it what it is.
Man, 48 wins, let me see. Yeah, okay.
That shit could be LeBron, Draymond, Iggy. I'll tell you, they wouldn't make playoffs either. It had nothing to do with Steph. This is a nasty big 3. You got Iggy probably gonna play. He gonna miss games. He gonna have to rest his knees back. Draymond just shot 22% from the 3-point line. Jesus, he not wide open. 23%.
Draymond will be better though. He's in a contract year, so you know how that goes. Guys play out of their mind in contract years.
You better.
30% better.
But we see how Draymond. But we all see what Draymond is capable of doing when he does get the touches and he is involved in more in the offense. Like, he's an automatic triple-double, like, every single night. Like, he didn't have to do that because they had KD and Clay, so his numbers looked down. So it looked like he was playing better than he really was, but he really just didn't have to do much. Didn't have much responsibility.
Hey, 10 to 15-point triple-doubles don't equal 48 wins.
That's the thing with Draymond, man.
I mean,
he gotta
be.
be.
What Jason Kidd was getting them.
What?
That's a
15-point triple-double. Got him the 2 finals, too.
That's a different brand of basketball.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a different.
Well, I mean, Jason Kidd, Draymond Green is not a I mean, he's a power forward that can run the point. Jason Kidd was a pure point guard, and he was spreading the wealth to everybody, making everybody better.
So Draymond don't do that?
Draymond don't make KD better.
I mean, he's not gonna make KD better because KD don't move without the ball.
But you know what I'm saying? He don't make Steph Curry better.
He absolutely gets Steph Curry open shots. Though.
I don't say he makes them better.
And Clay, like
Giving a player open shots and making them better, to me, is two different things.
I don't think
makes
he
the right reads every single
No,
time.
he's making the right read.
He's looking for them more than anybody else on the team.
But I don't think that makes
I don't
them
think that's making
better.
them better.
It makes them.
What?
It doesn't make them
What?
better.
How does that not? What are you kidding me? Like, so if you put any other power forward on that team, like they would be looking them off. They would be throwing the ball.
So let me ask you this question.
Hold on, put Looney in that situation.
No.
Like when you put Looney in the pick and roll, right, and Looney catches it right, nothing ever happens, right?
So
The
let
ball
me ask
either
you this.
stalls or
Let me ask you
like,
this. Jokic in Denver, could he take Draymond's Green role in Golden State?
well, he's the same type of player.
Could Nurkic in Portland take Draymond's role and still do the same thing?
Nah, I don't think so. Nah, Nurkic is more in the paint. The Draymond directed traffic, like when he catches it. Like sometimes he's telling other guys to go screen. He's coming over here, and then when he sees two guys jump out, he hits the slip screen. Like he makes those type of reads, and he's really a quarterback when he catches the ball. Like I think people don't give him enough credit for his playmaking because he does play with two of the best shooters ever. But he does get them a lot of open shots by making other guys do things that they should already be doing. Like Looney should already be looking to screen. Bogut should already be looking to screen. And he makes the right read every single time. Well, not every single time because he turns the ball over sometimes. But he does. I mean, he makes them better too. Like I don't understand it. Like I don't understand why Draymond they only make him better. Like no, he's the high assist guy for a reason.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as easy assist.
He don't make them better. if KD was on the team and Draymond was gone, Steph Curry would still be Steph Curry. He would still be Steph Curry.
Clay would still be Clay.
I mean, can
can
you say that? I mean, they play without him. They play with David Lee.
And they won a
Won a
championship.
championship.
No, I'm talking about when David Lee was starting and Draymond was coming off the bench.
Oh, Mark Jackson was still there. Kurt wasn't there yet.
I mean, but David Lee was able to do the same thing Draymond was doing, except for defend.
No, their percentages was all down. Like, did you see they had a stat when Draymond first started, and all their percentages was up. Everybody on the team, field goal percentages up. Field goal percentages up. 3-point percentages
Well, when
up.
Draymond was out there?
Yes, from the previous year.
Well, when they won that finals in 2015, the biggest adjustment that they made was starting Iggy
And Iggy still was getting cooked.
the rest of the series.
He still was.
They started Iggy.
I mean, that's a defensive adjustment though.
And he was smacking threes too.
I mean, what?
He got the finals MVP.
I mean, Andre. Well, he shouldn't.
But I'm saying he got the finals MVP.
But I mean, like Iguodala's a key piece too. Like, I mean, I'm not saying like
I just can't say Draymond Green.
Like it was a season thing too. Like you just talking about just the finals. Like we talking about this regular season now. Like Andre Iguodala wasn't starting in the regular season. Like it was Draymond Green. Draymond Green was the biggest key to changing their team's success. Him starting made their team a whole hell of a lot better. Like, and he gets no credit for it.
I mean, he gets credit. I'll give him credit, but I don't think he makes Steph Curry better.
How does he not make them better? And they won 14 more games than they did the year before that when he was coming off the bench playing 23 minutes.
I don't think he makes Steph. When you making Steph Curry a better basketball player,
So who does he make better? Because he
is
makes the team better.
Is he making Curry a better shooter too?
Because
So when he throws it to
he
him,
makes the team better.
Yes.
So who does he make better then? Is he making Harrison Barnes better?
I think he just gives, to me, this is what I'm going to say that Draymond Green does that makes the team better. He gives the team the ability he can grab the ball off the rim and begin to start and set up your offense. He's not your traditional power forward or center that's going to grab the ball and look for an outlet. He does not have to look for an outlet. He is the outlet. That allows the other players, that allows Steph, that allows Clay, like you said, Looney, Bogut, that allows them to go and run the offense as opposed to coming down, get a ball to the point guard, or grab a rebound, turn, look to the point guard, Now let's get down here and set up our offense.
So that alone makes them better because they don't have that responsibility.
But I don't think that makes that makes the team better. That
So
doesn't make Steph and Clay better because I believe if you can get a power forward or if you can get a big man that can run the floor or can handle the rock the way that Draymond does, then you can run that with anybody because he's not. It's not like he's drawing attention to himself in a way that makes them have a wide open look. Like Curry makes other people better because there's always an eye on Curry. Like people will leave Iguodala open for a slip screen because Curry is coming off a screen and they don't see.
And who's making that pass?
But fine, you're looking at the pass. The pass becomes easier when a person is wide open and you have the basketball IQ to make the right pass.
Nah, that ain't always the case because everybody don't hit the wide open
Because they don't have the
right
high basketball IQ. That's what I'm saying.
So Draymond's IQ makes other guys better. Like
No,
How you say that? I think Steph Curry would still be Steph Curry without Draymond Green.
I think
Like,
that word you're looking for instead of better, maybe easier. Everything
Okay, he makes their job, their life easier.
That's better.
No, it's not.
It's
You don't
not.
make Steph a better basketball player.
He doesn't.
What? How is making your job easier?
If Draymond,
not making
if
it better?
Draymond Green was not on the Golden State,
How is making your job easier not making
I think
you better?
the-
Okay, let me ask you this question.
That makes no
Let
sense.
me ask you this question.
None.
If you have a system,
It's
if
how
you
look
have
at
a
it, how you
system,
look at it. I see what you're saying, though, but it's not.
if you have a system at work that you have already
That's how you
mastered,
look at it.
and you have already mastered it, and your job presents a new system that takes away 2 steps from your old system, does that make you better at your job, or does that just make your job easier?
It can make me better at my job.
No,
Absolutely.
Why? Because it took away 2 steps, and so now instead of doing 2 steps to complete the process, you have 2 less steps. You don't get better.
So now
It's just
So
easier.
now I'm able to complete more. I'm able to complete more projects.
That doesn't make you better. It
Yes,
just
it
makes your
does.
job
It
easier.
does make my numbers
Like,
better
better
when I go in,
means-
because when like they compare my numbers, they say, "Oh man, he was able to get this much done more."
Yeah,
than
because
he
you
was
took
before
away
here."
2 less steps.
You know what makes Steph Curry
That's
better?
making me
His
better.
shooting coach. That's better. Like your shooting coach. He taught me how to shoot.
Don't
He
make
showed me
you
how. That's
better.
better.
I can't.
Taught me
It
the
doesn't
game.
make you
Steph
better.
Curry gonna average 27 to 30, regardless.
It's gonna be hard. It might not be efficient. Like his nose might be down, but he gonna
Instead
get
of
the point.
shooting
And they
40,
wouldn't win. But then we'd be here sitting here talking about, oh,
But-
he's scoring all these points and they not
Hey,
winning.
But that's why I say they're not
That's
going
how
to
he
make the
look at it.
playoffs.
So it's a win-lose situation.
That's
so
why I
it's
say they're not gonna make the playoffs.
Steph can go out there and get his, and it'll look ugly, and they won't win games. But when they win games, and it looks easier, he's not better. Like
He's
like,
not.
What?
He's not.
Like what?
He's not.
What did
Come on.
Draymond Green add to Steph Curry's game to make him better?
It's not about him adding to his game.
That's when you say better. That's what I think. When you say somebody like
No.
I'm making them better,
No, that makes no sense, bro. That's a personal thing. Like you
Draymond
add
ain't
stuff to
getting-
your game. That's
Draymond-
a personal struggle.
Draymond ain't getting Steph Curry wide open shots. Steph Curry is getting Andre Iguodala wide open dunks. That's making Iggy better. Like
Draymond Green.
Draymond ain't getting Klay Thompson wide open 3-pointers, but Klay Thompson is giving Andrew Bogut wide open looks at the
It's
basket.
not
I
really
see,
making Iguodala better, making him look better, which is totally different because he's not getting the same looks on the other team.
He's not. And Draymond ain't gonna be in the
We're
position.
gonna have to agree to disagree. I've seen him quarterback. I see him quarterback way too much. I see him quarterback an offense, and players don't even know what's going on. They don't even know what's going on, and he's like, I need you to look. Klay coming over here, screen for him, and he'll turn around, screen for him. Klay wide open now. Like Draymond does that a lot.
If anything, Steph
Like-
makes Draymond better.
A lot. Like he does. Like I didn't say he didn't.
I'm just saying that.
I didn't say he didn't.
That's a.
Like, but I'm saying is like he makes them better too because he makes their job easier and he puts guys in positions to get the job done, to make the offense flow. Like, there's a reason why people say the offense looks better without KD, right? Like, and it's only because of Draymond. It ain't because of Steph. Steph ain't out there playmaking.
So we
for
saying-
everybody
so-
for 48 minutes when KD's not
So
out
we
there.
saying role players are making a superstar player better is what we saying.
I don't think Draymond's a role player.
Lord Jesus.
What would you
I
call
don't think
him?
he's a role player either.
I don't think he's a role player.
I mean, what's that? I mean, he's either. What would you call
He's
him?
a star. He's an all-star.
Okay.
As long as he's on the road, he's a star.
He's one of the best two-way players in the game.
Okay.
This season gonna show y'all a lot about Draymond.
Man, we never seen the word like this, so we gotta wait. We don't know who they gonna add. We don't know what they gonna do. I never
That's
seen
all I
Steph.
said. That's all I said.
You know,
We have to
I ain't
wait. We gotta
ain't
wait.
seen Steph without Clay. I seen it without KD, but I ain't seen it
Yeah,
without
I ain't
Clay.
never seen it without Clay.
So that's a whole different situation.
But we all can agree that Steph gonna average about 25 to 27
He
points.
might,
a game.
he might, he might,
He averaged
that's
that
my
last
hot
year.
take.
Go ahead,
He
bro.
might
He
lead the
averaged
league in
last
scoring.
year.
It might
He
not
might
be.
lead the league in scoring.
He averaged
Might
20.
be.
He averaged
He
27.
might lead the league in scoring.
And
27
he won't
games
win
last
48
year.
games.
He hasn't averaged under 26 in
Steph might lead the league in scoring.
5-6 years.
Piss over there. He might lead the league in
And they
scoring.
won't win 48 games. That's what I'm telling you.
Cause he gonna get boxing 1, boxing 6, whatever kind of box you want
You
to guard
won't see
with.
that no more.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
a
just saying.
nurse thing. That's a nurse thing. You won't see that.
He gonna get his point.
Maybe Nurse and Papa do that. You won't see too many other teams do that.
Yeah.
He don't have to be wide open to get his. I mean, I seen him make shots that nobody else can make.
So did the Gasol make Kobe better?
At times, yeah, absolutely.
Might be disrespectful.
Absolutely.
Might be disrespectful.
What do you mean at times?
I mean, Kobe said it. Kobe said when Gasol got there, like everything fell into place. Like everything fell into place for me. Everything fell into place for the team. Like that's not by coincidence.
No,
Like,
he made him a better basketball player. Is what you're saying?
He
made
made
him
the
a
game
better player.
He made the game.
that's making you a
easier.
better player. Like
I
when you
don't
make the
agree
game
with
easier for somebody, that's making them better.
I don't agree
Like
with that.
that's like nobody makes the game better for Giannis, right? Nobody makes the game easy for Giannis. So when he gets to playoffs, y'all say, "Oh, well, he ain't ready. He ain't this." But he don't have anybody making the game easier for him.
Hold up. So let me ask you this.
Like,
Will LeBron James make Anthony Davis a better basketball player?
yes, he's gonna. Yeah, he's gonna.
Is it because he's going to make the game easier or because he's flat out going to make him a better player?
No, it's gonna make the game easy for him. Anthony Davis put up numbers regardless. Like
That's what we're saying though.
AD's a number guy. Like he's gonna just make the game easy for him, and he's gonna make him better. Like that's gonna
But
make him
easier
better.
doesn't make you better.
Yes, it does. It does make you better. Like it makes you. It's gonna make you more efficient.
That's a good poll.
It's gonna make you more efficient.
Easier,
Just like it made,
better.
just like Gasol made Kobe better. Like everybody says, Kobe prime years, right, are from 08 to 2010. Some people would say that, right?
08 to 10?
08 to 10, right?
Was Kobe years?
I wouldn't say that.
Some people would say that's
Some
Kobe
people,
prime.
I wouldn't.
24 Kobe. They say that's prime Kobe. Like, that's
Some people
prime
say that.
Kobe. Why?
Some people also say 8.
That's fine, but why? But why?
I don't
Why
know
ain't Kobe?
I don't know why 24 Kobe would be prime Kobe.
They say he was in his prime at 24. From 08 to 010, he went to 3 straight finals. He went to 3 straight finals. He led his team. He 2-time finals MVP. They would say that's prime Kobe. MVP. Like they would say that's prime Kobe. Why? Because the game was easier. Because Gasol made the game easier.
But that don't make Kobe
Point blank period.
better.
Just like with Michael Jordan. Like Pippen made the game easier for Michael Jordan. They started winning championships. Does that mean that 1988 Michael Jordan wasn't a better player than 92 Jordan?
He got old. He got better.
So now we finna say Pippen made Jordan better?
He
I'm asking you a question.
He didn't.
I'm
develop
asking you
his
a question.
skills. He didn't
I
have-
don't
Did
think
Scottie Pippen make Michael Jordan? Michael Jeffrey Jordan better?
I'm asking you a question.
Hell no.
Is 88, because 88 Jordan, Defensive Player of the Year,
MVP. All-Star MVP.
Is that better than 92 Jordan?
easier and better
Better than 96 Jordan?
are two different things.
Which Jordan would you take? Which Jordan? 88, 92, 95, 96.
They all the same.
Start, bench, kill.
They all
Start, bench, kill.
He just means if I'm Kobe, I can average 35 this season. But
No,
it's hard.
no. We
But
don't
next
talk
year,
about
I
this.
can
88,
average-
92, 95, 96 Jordan.
I don't
Start,
think-
bench, kill.
I'm not doing it. Because I don't think just because the game becomes easier to you, you are now a better player. The game is just
I mean, that's the thing
easier.
with LeBron though. Like when LeBron went to Miami, the game was easy for him.
I don't think LeBron was better. I'm
What was
gonna be
LeBron? And people would say that was LeBron's prime.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be honest.
People would say that's LeBron's prime.
I'm gonna be honest.
Numbers in Cavs, number in Cleveland was better.
I'm gonna say.
Why is Miami LeBron's prime?
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Numbers were down.
You know, the players, he didn't have to do what he had to do in Cleveland.
I'm not.
Why
gonna
is that
say
his prime?
I'm not gonna say that.
Well, why is that his
It wasn't
prime then?
prime.
Why would people say that that's LeBron's prime?
Because people
This is the
equate
England.
winning to your prime. People
your age
equate
limit, your prime,
no.
your prime.
People equate winning the championship to your prime years. They will always say that. Media people will always say that. Whatever years you're winning, that is always a prime. That is always your prime year.
What about
Period.
a second stint with Cleveland?
I think his second stint with Cleveland was actually LeBron's best years because he had lesser talent, he had a younger team, he had players that had never tasted a lot of the things where he has been, and even in Miami, and for him to be able to carry teams to the playoffs, and even in the finals. Like that last year in Cleveland, we saw LeBron James do something we have probably never seen a player in basketball do. Like he didn't have anybody that was making the game easier for him. And he carried that.
And got swept.
It's okay. He carried, man, he put up 51. He had a 51-point triple-double against one of the greatest basketball teams to ever play the game. And they were a missed free throw and a bonehead play away from winning game one.
And still lost.
I don't care.
They had 5 minutes of overtime to win the game. He could have kept the party going.
He wasn't
And
even.
didn't.
They were not supposed to be in that game.
So
were not supposed to be in that
What
game.
I'm gonna say is, I see where you going with the prime Miami.
That's all I'm saying.
But no, I see at the same time though, that team LeBron with Cleveland.
They weren't supposed to be there.
So you could argue and
Why
say,
not? They playing DeMar DeRozan and Jason Tatum to
I'm
get to the
saying
finals.
you could say with
Why were
that
they weren't supposed to be there?
with that roster he had, the show he put on in the playoffs. You
Like,
could
why were they supposed to be there?
you could argue that LeBron last year was better than the one in Miami, just for a playoff run.
I mean, I don't care about just playoff run.
But even the totality of the
I'm talking about.
He had to play 82.
Yeah.
He had to play 82. His last year in Cleveland, LeBron had to play 82 games for them to be a 4 seed. A 4 seed. And then in the playoffs, he had to score. He had to rebound. He had to do everything for them to win games. Bron could not take a single play off.
So what about 07 LeBron then?
When they went to the finals.
Yeah, they went to the final. He had to do everything on that team too.
And again, that's another year where I honestly think
That was better than his Miami years? Huh?
That 07 LeBron wasn't better than the.
Is that 07 LeBron better than the Miami LeBron?
I'm gonna tell you that 07 LeBron it wasn't better than the LeBron from his last year in Cleveland.
That's all I'm saying.
the
He had to
Bron-
do everything
the-
with that team too.
Bron his last year in Cleveland.
And they beat
LeBron
the best team that they probably played in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, Detroit.
They beat Detroit. Like, so is that LeBron not better than Miami LeBron?
No.
He had to do everything. He had to do everything.
But it wasn't to the same level. It
Yeah.
wasn't to the same
Now, that's why I say
level.
that last year in Cleveland, I would say you can
He
take
had
that
to do
guy, you can take that
everything.
LeBron, and then compare him to that Miami.
He
LeBron.
had to do everything.
Why?
He had to do everything.
Play lesser talent.
Who?
Talking about DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry. Y'all slandered Lowry for a whole fucking playoffs into the last game of the damn season. So y'all say he's a bum. We know DeRozan got mental issues. They had to play Jason Tatum in the Eastern Conference Finals.
But go back and look
come
at
on, man.
them.
Like,
Go back and look at his numbers from the series they played Toronto when they swept Toronto. Look at those numbers.
I'm not saying he wasn't balling. I know he was balling. I know that. I know he was balling.
He had to do that. Like, look at the numbers he had to put up when they went 7 against Indiana. Look at the numbers he had to put up just for them to beat Indiana.
We know he was balling. We know he was balling. I know he was balling. He was balling. But
So who made it?
I would never say that LeBron
Nobody.
is better than
And that's what I'm
Miami
saying.
LeBron.
Like,
First of all, he was one of the worst defenders in the league that year. One of the worst defenders in the league. Numbers will tell you that. They were one of the worst defensive teams in the league. Sure, did they get it done in the playoffs? Sure, they did. They did. They turned it up a notch. But they were one of the worst defensive teams in the league in the regular season. That's point blank period. LeBron's prime defensive years were in Miami.
Yeah.
Point blank period. Point blank period. I don't want to hear it. I don't even want to hear an argument about that. Like, his best defensive years were in Miami.
Well, I'm not gonna say Pau Gasol made Kobe Bryant.
Kobe says it though. Like, Kobe himself says it.
Magic Johnson says Kobe is the greatest Laker of all time. Do I agree with him? No. I think it's Magic.
That's coming from him. I mean, when a player tells you who played the game that he made him better and he made the game easier for him, like, all right, you take his word for it. Like, he's not saying that just to boost Pau Gasol. we've all know Kobe Bryant is stone cold, a truth teller. Like, if you're a bum, he'll call you a bum. Like, if you were lazy, he would tell you were lazy in your fucking face. So if Paul Gasol made the game easier for him, damn right Paul Gasol made the damn easy game.
I will
and
agree
he
with
said
that.
he made them better. He said he made their team better, he made him better, and he put everybody in their place. And they won a championship without their starting center that year. Like, come on, man. Like, that's how good Paul Gasol was. Like, Paul Gasol was able to fill a void, so they had they were able to win a finals without their starting center, who was an all-star. Who was an all-star the year before.
Make the team better. Oh, man.
I'm going to agree with Booth. We need to put this up.
Because he
Just because the game
They lost without
becomes
Bynum, though.
easier, does that make
They
you
won
a
with
better
Bynum the
player?
next.
Well, Bynum got hurt that series.
I think we need to put this up. And the questions need to be, just does the game being easier make you a better player?
If I'm able, Kobe averaged 35 points with 2004, 2007, whatever that first year they traded Shaq. He could have did that the next year. He could do that any time point in his career. Difference is, if you add Pau Gasol, he can still do the same thing, but it's going to look way better because it's easier now.
And now
instead
they're
of
winning.
him, and now they win. Instead of him shooting 25% from the field, now the game he getting easier to shot. So that 35 a game or whatever, it's going to look a lot easier. Not because not because his skills got better. The only person that can make Kobe Bryant better is himself practicing outside, in the gym by himself, his coaches.
Making you better
Defensive
is
drills.
just not about your skill set being better. Like, it's not. It's
Okay,
really not.
so that's not what I'm talking about. Something different.
This is a win or lose sport. Like, there's a lot of guys who put up a lot of numbers who lose, and then we never talk about it. We never say, oh, that player is that good. Melo led the league in scoring one year, and we still tortured Melo because the team was bad. Like, was that Melo's best year? Was that Melo's best year? No. No. Like making the game easier for somebody is making them better. Like, and it equates to more wins. Point blank, period. Like, this is basketball. I don't know what other sport you got or anything like that. Like, I mean, it's just like with football. Football's like that. Football's like that. Like, players go to the Patriots, right? They look like fucking all-stars, right? Because of Tom Brady. Tom Brady makes them better. But Tom Brady, but like I said, so Randy Moss goes to the Patriots, right? Tom Brady breaks all the records in the world, right? Is that to say that Tom Brady was never talented before Moss got there? Was he ever not that talented when Moss got there? Did Moss make him better?
No. No, and Brady didn't make Moss better.
So that's the
Because
one player
Brady threw for 50. Look, in the same one season, Brady threw for 50 touchdowns. Moss scored 23 touchdowns. Neither one of them made each other better. The game just became easier. We seen Tom win rings without.
That's called making them better.
No,
their numbers didn't lie.
Guess
They
what?
will.
Guess
All their
what?
numbers went up.
Guess what? They didn't even win a championship that year.
They
didn't
to
win
the
a
Super Bowl.
championship. They didn't win a championship. They didn't win a
Super Bowl
championship.
is a one-game sample size.
They didn't win a championship.
You can't say off one game whether somebody made them better or not.
Did New
Like,
England have the best team on the field that game?
They were undefeated.
Did they have the best team and they didn't win? They didn't win.
That's a
You wanna know
one-game
why?
sample size.
It wasn't a one game.
That's a Super Bowl's a one game. It's one game.
I'm gonna be real with you and tell you why they lost that game. New England's line had no answer for Michael Strahan on one side and I can't think of the other end on the other side. But they had no answer for that. When New England, anytime Tom Brady,
one game sample size. I'm talking about
if
the
they
whole
would played,
season.
if they would have
I'm
played,
talking about the whole season.
if they would have played, if I'm gonna be real with you, as a Patriot fan, if they would have played the Giants a 5-game series, and you mean to tell me the Giants would have came out with that same game plan on defense? Guess what? I'm gonna tell you, Brady would have struggled.
It's a one game
He would've
sample
struggled.
size. I'm not talking about one game. I'm talking about an entire season. Like, you can't get stuck on one game.
But I could also
We can't get stuck on one game.
I could also tell you, look at the teams they played that year. They played the Giants 3 times that year. They played the Giants in the preseason, they played the Giants the last game of the season, and they played the Giants in the Super Bowl. They beat them the first 2 times, and they lost the last time. Why? Because the Giants saw something. They figured something out. Like
I'm not talking about the Super Bowl.
Okay,
Like,
look
forget
at
Super Bowl.
the division.
I'm
Look
talking
at
about
the division
whole
that
entire season.
Look at the
Their
division that the
numbers
Patriots
went up
play in.
for a reason. They made each other better
No.
because the game is
No.
easier.
No.
There's a reason why their numbers went
I've
up.
seen Tom Brady throw for 5,000 yards and not have Randy Moss on the team.
He didn't have 50 touchdowns.
So what?
They didn't go undefeated.
Tom Brady has damn near went undefeated a lot of times.
Damn near and going undefeated.
Man.
2 completely different things.
You're not finna sit here and tell me that Randy Moss made Tom Brady better. You're not.
They both made each other
You're not.
better. I mean,
And I
they
seen
did.
Randy Moss.
The numbers and the wins say it.
I seen Randy Moss
Whether you
go
want
15
to
and
say it or
1.
not, whether you want to say it or not, the numbers and the wins say it.
I seen Randy Moss go 15 and 1 in Minnesota with Randall Cunningham, Chris Carter, and Jake Reed and Rod Smith. Cut it out.
And they all made each other better. They all made each other better because the game was easier. They made each other better. Like making the game easier, making each other better, and getting more wins is an equation.
This is the difference. This is what I'm
We
saying.
making them better just for
Hold
that
on,
year, or we
hold on,
making them
hold on,
better
no.
like they a better basketball player for the rest of their career.
But listen, I'm gonna show you the hold on.
It's not
I'm gonna show
about
you the
making them
difference.
better basketball player for the career. It's about why you're playing with them.
I'm gonna show. I'm gonna show you.
That's a
right?
skill set, right? That's a whole time. That's a whole different thing. That's a whole different.
That's
thing.
what when I hear you say you making them better, I think skill set.
No. That's an internal thing. Your skill set is an internal thing. Like Draymond's not saying, "Hey, Steph Curry, I'm gonna get you a post-up game now." No, that's not it.
No, but
Like-
so I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna go back to football. Chris Carter will tell you Randy Moss made him better, right? But why would Chris Carter say that? Because Chris Carter probably went from seeing double teams before Randy got there to only seeing single coverage. So now a player with the hands of Chris Carter that could catch anything, right? Now I only have to worry about one guy and one guy only. I don't have to worry about a DB and a safety over the top. I don't have to worry about a DB with 2 safeties over the top. I don't have to worry. That makes me better because now I'm getting more balls, right? I'm able to show my skill set for everybody to see what I'm able to do. The game is harder for a receiver that's double teamed than a receiver that's wide open. So when you say Draymond is making Steph Curry better, I'm looking at it from the sense of Draymond ain't getting Steph Curry no wide open jump shot because Draymond ain't demanding no double team. He ain't demanding the triple team. All eyes ain't on Draymond. But Steph Curry is making Draymond better. Steph Curry is making Klay Thompson better. Steph Curry is making Andre Iguodala better because, and Klay is doing the same for Steph and Draymond and Klay because when they're coming off those screens, when Klay and Steph is coming off those screens, guess what they got? They got multiple sets of eyes on them. They got people, again, if Klay come off a down screen and somebody up here guarding Iguodala and they peripheral see Klay coming off and don't see the defender behind him, guess what they doing? They jumping Klay. Now Iggy gets to dive.
Of course.
So that ain't Draymond making nobody
That
better.
only happens 5 or 6 times a game. Like, this is what I'm talking about.
That's 10
This is what I'm
points.
talking about. This is what I'm talking about.
That's
This is what
10
I'm
to
talking
12
about.
points.
This is what I'm talking about. Steph, and we talk about them all the time. They are the best relocators in all of basketball that you've ever seen in your life. Like, there is a reason. They get off his rebound. They kick it back out to Draymond at the top of the key. Draymond is literally looking for them to relocate. Like, he's not looking to do anything else. Relocate. I'm waiting on you. You come out to the corner, boom, I'm hitting you. Nobody else does that. Who does that? Who else does that in the league?
So because he waiting on them to relocate, that makes him better?
No, that's just an example. But he does that a lot. He quarterbacks. I mean, he's a quarterback. When Curry sets the screen and he gets double teamed, right, he feels comfortable enough where I can jump it off to Draymond, and he's going to make the right decision. He's either going to hit Klay coming back, or sometimes it comes back. And it comes back to Draymond, and Draymond swings it again right back to Curry. Like, he's a quarterback, like, and they trust his decision making, and he gets them open shots. Like, it may not be the traditional way, the traditional post up, double team, pass it out. No, it may not be that.
I agree
But He will get them open shots.
He does that
It's just not traditional.
because nobody else in the league has a Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. And he can't do that for no other team.
Yeah. Obviously nobody has
That's
a
what I'm
Steph and
saying.
Clay, but
He won't be able to do that on no other team to sit there and wait for somebody.
I
to
didn't see them doing that. I didn't see them do that when David Lee was the starting power forward, and Draymond was coming off the bench. I didn't see it.
Draymond's a better player than
I didn't see
Kyrie.
it. I didn't see it. I just didn't see it. I didn't see it.
He better player than
I saw a lot of tough shots. I saw them shooting a lot of hero shots. That's what I saw. Draymond.
He just smart enough to know to wait on them niggas to get open.
No, Draymond has always been a point guard. Like people got to stop saying that. Like Draymond was a point guard at Michigan State. If you've been following Draymond your whole career, he's a point guard at Michigan State.
He was.
That's all I'm saying. I know we got low.
We gonna poll that one.
We definitely.
Because I'm with you on that one, boo. If he was with another team, them looks, Steph's still gonna be making threes. But yeah, we definitely polling that one. Go talk. You got Draymond in the go talk.
Man,
Hope it's in the Drake go talk. You should have got that one, Booth. Should have went live on that one. I'm still heated.
yeah, that
Y'all pissed me off. Y'all pissed me off. That.
Oh man, I don't even know where to go from there. I should have given y'all my curveball. Go talk.
Hold on, before you say that, my man Reese said, who was on the camera? He said me. He said, man, you got the camera shaking like booty meat.
Y'all know the deal.
Oh man, all right. Whew.
What sport?
I gotta give y'all a sport. All right.
Oh, he's good with the sport.
I feel like if I give y'all a sport, never mind. The numbers gonna tell y'all the sport, but it's baseball. All right, player A had a career batting average of 276, on base percentage of 402, career home runs 612, career RBIs 1,699, career base on balls 1,747, career strikeouts 2,548, career runs 1,583, career hits 2,328. He's a 5-time All-Star, comeback player of the year, 1-time Silver Slugger. He's a Hall of Famer.
How many home runs?
612. Player B has a career average of 273, an on-base percentage of 344, career home runs 609, career RBIs 1,667, base on balls 929, strikeouts 2,306, runs 1,475, career hits 2,408, 7-time All-Star, was a ML Player of the Year, was MVP, and a 6-time Silver Slugger.
Play one more time for me.
You want all of that?
Yes.
Average 276, on-base percentage 402, career home runs 612, RBIs 1,699, base on balls 1,747, strikeouts 2,548, runs 1,583, hits 2,328, 5-time All-Star, comeback player of the year, Silver Slugger, and a Hall of Famer.
A. I think I know who it is.
Who was that?
Jim Tony.
Yep.
I think I know B.
Who?
Sammy.
Yep.
Interesting.
Damn.
Jim Thome versus Sammy Sosa.
Hold on. Why are you saying that? Let me look at the score of this White Sox game.
Jim Thome didn't cheat, so I gotta go with Jim.
What you say?
Jim
Thome
Thome
didn't cheat.
Man,
We don't know he cheated.
good game going on the north side.
1-1.
1-1, bottom of the eighth.
1-1. Who pitching for the White Sox?
Marshall.
Gio? No, that ain't Gio.
Ooh, it's a good game. Nervous. We need this win too.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, about need it.
Jim Tony.
Jim Tony. keep both of them for my wife. So
Yeah, stay out. And it was traded
Sammy
from the
was
Sox
out
to
there
the
with
Cubs.
the Jerry curl.
Fuck Sammy Sosa.
Whoa, what'd you say?
Fuck Sammy Sosa. North side.
Okay.
North side in my book.
That he is.
Yeah, that she is in the North Side.
Yeah, that pack up there.
He never tested positive.
He's positive for something. It's a tough one, actually. You go on with Red.
I'm leaning towards Sosa.
This again.
6-time Silver Slugger, MVP. Tommy don't got none of that.
Yeah, win MVP, didn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Hall of Fame. He a Silver Slugger, but not 6 times.
So we're not gonna take into account Sammy was on steroids, probably had his career, got tremendously bigger out of nowhere, putting cork in bats.
Now here's always been my argument, right?
Tony numbers still better than his though.
Here's always been my argument
His
with
career numbers
steroids,
better.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Steroids does make you stronger, but steroids does not allow you to hit the ball.
Yeah, it don't change over.
You still gotta have that.
You still gotta have a hand-eye coordination.
Okay, he still had a hand on it. I mean, that gets. I mean,
Like you
yeah.
still. So listen, you still have to be a good enough baseball player to hit the ball.
They say it does increase your bat speed though.
It does, but what I'm saying is you still have to be able to locate the ball.
But he still has that one advantage. He still has an advantage.
He does.
Even if it's not, even if it's not a big one, he still has an advantage.
So let me ask you this question: did steroids make Barry Bonds better?
Nah, he was already good.
He's better than Sammy Sosa. He was already good though.
Did steroids make Mark McGwire better?
Yeah.
That's a tough question.
Is that
They both hit. They both hit.
No,
what,
no,
600
no,
home
no.
runs?
His
Yeah.
batting average still was really.
Mark McGwire was still good before he took steroids?
Yeah.
I'm saying though. What did he take steroids for?
Maybe he did.
Couldn't stay healthy. I mean, A-Rod flat out told you he couldn't stay healthy. So he,
Well, no,
he
A-Rod
said
said
he wanted
he
to live
took
up to the
steroids
contract.
because he wanted to live up to the
live
contract.
up to the contract and stay healthy.
He wanted to live up to the contract. A-Rod was already a good player
It
in
was
Seattle.
guaranteed money. He decided he lived up to it.
No, but
I
man,
know,
listen,
he wants to
you
live up to
He
it.
signed the
I-
biggest
I
contract.
know.
in-
Listen,
I know.
let somebody give you the biggest contract ever.
Yeah, he signed the biggest contract in MLB history.
I wouldn't blame Mike Trout. He started taking steroids. Shit.
Oh.
But he should put in the contract.
Man, I'm
Finally
low
taking
key
steroids, taking
leaning
his money back.
towards Tommy. I think I'm leaning towards Tommy on this one.
Yes, I'll take Jim Tomey over Barry Bonds too, because he didn't cheat.
I will slap the hell out of you. That was pretty simple, actually.
What about playoff numbers?
I'm pretty sure.
Tony playoff numbers look like they doo-doo.
All their playoff numbers probably look bad.
Tony's playoff numbers: 17 career home runs, 37 career RBIs. Batting average was 211.
Yeah.
Dude, Sosa got 2 home runs
postseason?
in the postseason in 3 seasons.
They did play for the Cubs. Shade.
Actually, 2 seasons.
Oh.
The second season when they made it to the second round.
Boy couldn't sniff. So Sosa almost don't even have a playoff.
Yeah, man, got 2 seasons, man. 98 and 2003.
All them hits didn't equal wins.
And still only had 2 home runs in that in the 2 series that they won.
Awful playoff.
They won the first round series. They won the NLDS and then lost in 7 in the NLCS.
He got an on base
The
percentage.
Florida Marlins.
Homie.
That was the Florida Marlins year. 03.
Oh, they okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Tommy.
Tommy got some good playoff numbers.
He been in the playoffs way long. He played for the Indians all them years. So they was in the playoffs like.
From 95 to
Jesus.
99.
You see
Oh
him?
my God.
And then they went back in 2001.
Give me Jim Tomey.
Yeah, I might have to sway.
Give me Jim Tomey. My decision is made. Give me Jim Tomey. First of all, his career number's better too. But,
They ain't that much better.
Not that much, but a little slight better, which matters in the go talk. And he gets to the playoffs more. Come on, man.
And he played for the White Sox.
Come on, man.
So did Sosa, but still, that was in like the early 90s.
Yeah, but he got all his playoffs is with Cleveland, except for 1 year with the White Sox.
2008 with the White Sox. 37 years old. Batting average was doo-doo.
Trash.
Yeah,
He was actually trash in all these playoffs except for like 3.
Man, how do you say? Not say Sosa.
Actually, he wasn't trash. Going with Jim Tomey. Going with real Southsider. Don't care how many years he played for us.
Yeah, ooh, them playoff numbers stink. Sammy,
He wasn't there. He wasn't there. Oh, that 98 playoffs, he was awful. I remember that now. As bad as I remember that, but I remember. He was awful. Awful. That boy wasn't swinging to nothing but F.
oh man, Sammy Sosa helped single-handedly bring back baseball.
You talk about waving. The bat was waving at the F.
how long ago? Single-handedly.
He didn't do it by himself.
I mean, him and McGuire.
And Bonds.
Yeah, that's like people forget about Bonds, man. People forget about Bonds.
No. I'm
Just
talking about
because
to
they
kick
had
it
that
off.
one race, yeah.
Yeah, that was a class epic race.
I mean,
Cause he hit what? Sammy hit 66 that year.
66. McGuire hit 70 on the head or 72?
70. He hit 66, then he hit 63. Jesus. Then he hit 50, and then he hit 64.
That bat speed was pretty quick. 64 times that bat.
All right, man, I'm going Sammy.
Give me Jim Tomey.
I'm going Sammy for the sake of the steroid era.
You give me Jim Tomey.
Give me Jim Tomey.
Somebody got to say, Jesus.
What you got, Booth?
Jim.
I mean, Tomey wasn't no slouch neither.
He was.
40, 49, 47, 42, 42.
Me, Jim.
Jim got more home runs and he ain't never been questioned for steroids.
Never.
You're right.
He looked like he just drank Guinness all damn day.
You know what? Can I renege on my pick?
No, it's too
I
late
can.
now.
You can.
I can.
Nah, it's too late. No.
If Trump can rig, if they can rig elections, I can renege on my pick.
Booth,
Hey.
Booth the last vote.
Hey.
Can he renege?
Man,
Can he renege, Booth?
hey, I wish we would renege when we vote for Trump. That's
They say spade is stick, man. Come on, man.
I'm going Trump.
So we got 3-0 Tomey. What
Fold
you got,
up.
Booth?
Fold
Man,
up.
Tomey.
You got Tomey?
I got Tone. I got Tone.
Hey, we gotta put that one up. That's a good one. Ooh, and we got the Crosstown Classic right now too. That's a good time with that one, actually. I see where you was going with that one.
He wasn't going there. He didn't.
And guess who's up 3-1 at the top of the night?
He already had. He already
credit?
had that going on.
3-1 Southside.
No credit?
Oh, man.
3-1 White Sox.
It was a good one. It was a good one though. It was a good one though. Woo.
We need this win. That second
Oh,
wild card
man.
on our name.
No,
Yeah.
man. That's what
We split with the Yankees too. Don't let you
Yankees
know
up 4-2 right now, too.
that. Yeah, both teams up, huh? Okay, good. All right. We made y'all better. Follow the Goodfellas podcast on Twitter. Goodfellas87. Spelled with a 3 instead of an E. That was perfect timing. I could not say that. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Goodfellas Podcast. Follow us on Instagram. Like the Facebook page. What else do we got?
Make sure y'all rate, review, and subscribe to the Apple Podcast.
Yes. Apple Podcast.
You been practicing that.
Yeah,
That
man.
sound too smooth.
Yeah, man.
Respond, rate, review. You know how hard it is to get 3 R's out like that?
He ain't say no respond.
Said
Subscribe.
Oh.
review and subscribe.
It sounded like 3
Yeah,
on.
man, he trying to make up some stuff over here. He made it sound like he was an ambulance.
It's been a long show. A long
It has been a long one today. We ain't went
show.
this one long in a long time.
Y'all gonna watch all 2 hours of this too.
Man,
On my mama.
Yeah, I'm still pissed. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm still a little heated. My contact was fucking up the first 20 minutes. It's nice, clear now.
Yeah, vision.
3-1. It's making my day right
Alright.
now. Shout outs.
Alright, I'm gonna shout out my mom. She has retired from the University of Chicago Coma Emergency Room, which is the children's emergency room. She worked there 38 years. So I'm gonna shout out my mom for a great career. And now she can sit back, relax, take care of her grandbaby, start her swim lessons, and drive me crazy.
Shout out Mrs. Wilson. Gang. Shout out.
No shout outs for me this week, man. Shout outs. No shout outs for me, man. Last day of school is Thursday, so I guess we can shout that out. Last day of school for CBS is Thursday. Summer hours starting on Monday.
It's Monday.
Friday. Starting Friday for you?
Mine already started. Step up.
I ain't gonna say what I've been doing. But mine start Monday though. Start Monday. But yeah. I mean, I don't really have anything.
Shout out to the Los Angeles Lakers for getting Anthony Davis. Okay. That was, look, Bron got to get number 4. All right.
By any means necessary.
By any means necessary. All right. Do whatever y'all got to do, front office. And shout out to the White Sox, man. 3-1, baby.
LC.
3-1.
I got one more shout out, man. We was petty for this. Shout out to all the fathers out there, man.
Oh.
Father's Day was on
Father's
Sunday.
Day was.
So I want to shout out all the fathers that's out there taking care of your kids, man. Fathers are important. Fathers are important.
Booth?
Yeah, shout out to the podcast, Goodfellas, man, because all 3 of y'all here wouldn't be the same. Y'all make each other better. My fault. See, still pissed.
You laugh a little too hard. It's
It's going to be the name of the episode. Make me better.
You know.
Make me better.
It's got to be. That's got to be.
No, man.
Yes.
Yes,
That's it.
better.
We got it.
When y'all ask me for a favor, it's gonna make life a little bit easy on y'all. You know what I'm gonna say? Go ahead and make yourself better.
What was that song? Well, who had a song "Make Me Better"? That was Fab and Neo.
Yep.
Make me
You
better.
make me
We're
better.
gonna put them on the cover of the
Yep.
podcast.
It's time to go. All right, man. Until next week. Let us know if y'all got a GOAT talk y'all want us to discuss. If y'all got any topics y'all want us to talk about, whether it be MLB, NBA free agency, WNBA basketball, whatever it is, let us know. We will discuss it. So stay on the lookout for the content because we definitely going to have a couple of polls running. And until next week, love, live life. Make me better.